Beyond Saltmarsh is a game played by adults and recorded for an adult audience. Sometimes we use adult language, explore adult topics. Consider yourself warned. Welcome to the Superior Adventurers Guild. My name's Dave, your humble dungeon master, and tonight we are going to dive deep into the adventures of the Deg Gang as they explore the Amadio jungle, wreak havoc, and save the world, or die in a horrible TPK. We'll find out as we dive into this story with some of my favorite people in the TTRPG community. You guys are some of my favorite people because you've stuck around and you've done the important work of saving people and being heroes. Welcome back. And there's a cat. There's cats. Everybody has cats. Raise your hand if you have a cat with an epiglottis.
I'm pretty sure.
Cats have epiglottises. They share the same evolutionary roots and anatomical structures used for that portion.
I don't have a cat. I'm allergic.
Oh, boo-hoo. Itchy eyes and scratchy stuff. Hey guys, let's do this real quick. Let's go around the table, the virtual tabletop, introduce ourselves, and give us a little bit of information about who you're playing. I think we should go ahead and start with the man, the chaos bringer, Byron Hern.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Superior Adventures Guild. This is Byron Hern today. I'm playing Byron Hern myself. I'm from Louisiana, where we eat crawdads while they're still chilling in the lake, river, or wherever we catch them. Mud, probably.
Just let 'em go. It's fine.
Anyways, I'm a rogue, you know. I'm a master of disguise. Sometimes I sneak into locations and I'll take stuff, and you know, people get upset, and I don't really care because you know what, the dice do what they do. I just do what I do, and the dice say yes or no, mostly yes, because I do only things I'm good at, and that's why I drive a Honda.
Amen to that. Kirk, the only question I have for you is why haven't you been doing that accent the entire campaign? That was I
didn't know I could do it. I just went for it.
I love it. That was beautiful. Thank you for doing it. Thanks for being here, buddy. I love you. I want to talk about you for a minute. Just kidding. Let's move on to Michael.
Right. Not quite sure what that was. But hello. My name's Michael. I'm playing Theodric the Lacetus, which is not English, that last name. It's actually Elvish, stolen directly from Tolkien. Pleasant chap. He is a Hexblade Warlock, which is like being a paladin, but without any of the actual, paladin bits. It's great. It certainly isn't going to get us all killed.
That is very true. And you know what else isn't going to get you all killed is Techie Woman busting out some advantages before we even get started here. Hey. Techie Woman, you are so generous and supportive of the stream. We appreciate you, and we're glad that you are here. You know who else we're glad is here is Ashley.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley. I'm Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter. And oh god, I should go into an accent too. I don't know if y'all remembered this, but I started this character out as Favra Evenstar, the 9th level half-elf glamour bard. And now we're 10th level, and now she talks like this because it was all lies. Lots of lies. So, yeah, we're so close to the end of this. What do we got? This is the third to the last episode.
Is it really? Oh.
The season. It's going to be amazing.
Amazeballs. Thank you so much for being here. You are, as the image says on the screen, like whiskey in a teacup. God damn. And that brings us over to another type of tall, dark draft of a man. Runar Deg, my friend Andy. Hi.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Andy, and I'm playing Runar Deg, a 10th level human, dual sword wielding battle master fighter and captain of the good buddy.
He won. He won.
That was,
Pretty
I'm
good.
crying. That's pretty funny, dude. Nicely done.
You've already
Ouch.
got the accent for your next character.
Yeah, I know. Get ready.
Oh, dude. I will cut your character's tongue out. All right, here we go.
Teenage nerd sorcerer.
Then he will mime in that entire accent the whole
Dude,
time.
I would not put it past him. Y'all are beautiful. Thank you all for being here. I'm really excited to get into this game tonight. I have no idea what's going to happen. I've been thinking about this session for a long time, and I don't know, it's just gonna be interesting. But before we get into the session, we got to do a couple of quick things. I want to say a big, huge, 100%, lots of love, massive gratitude shout out. That's about as good as it gets, folks, to our sponsors at CZRPG Publishing. They have been with us for a long time. They have been just throwing down the support for the stream, allowing us to give things away to the chat on the regular. So tonight, my friends, we are giving away a copy of Aqua Cadent. It is an adventure in the city of Waterfalls, a high fantasy settlement run by the mad married queen who manages to offer a quality of life to her peoples, but at the expense of withdrawing water from others. We're going to have to figure out how to stop the Mad Queen, and you can do that if you win the Aqua Cadent. I'm definitely going to get that title wrong, but Aqua Cadent is what we're giving away at the end of the stream, guys. Exclamation mark drawing to get in on the action. Armin, great to see you. You're going to want to win this. Throw it into your next Greyhawk campaign. You know how we do. Exclamation mark drawing to do so. We're also super duper 100% fanboys and girl of the Old Goat Beard Company. Take it away, Ashley.
Oh man, if you guys have not tried Old Goat Beard Company beard oils and soaps and everything that they have, it is amazing. They come in scents like whiskey, honey, cherry tobacco, cedar leather, roasted oatmeal stout, and coming soon, apple bourbon.
Whoa, they got a new one?
That's what you said last time.
That's pretty cool. Ashley, well done. I'm super impressed.
I take notes.
You are very good at it too.
At least someone does.
You guys check out Old Goat Beard Company. You know it. They have great beard products. You can see it on most of the faces on this stream. Armin, thank you for the cheering. We do have a hype train incoming. Choo choo. Armin, you can donate those 3. Oh my God, Karimzi's in the action. Armin, you can donate those advantages to whomever you would like to, and we'll chalk those down on the. Oh my God, Dungeon Mr. Ty. You guys, thanks for being here. All right. So we've got sponsors. We did that. We've got some quick announcements. We are going to be wrapping up our 4-shot of the Freely Games Mutant Year Zero Gen Lab Alpha, which is a game that we've been playing on Monday nights. So we've got one session left. The finale's coming up this coming Monday, 7 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Our good friend, the Bleak Season, has been running that game for us. It's been absolutely phenomenal. I shed tears last Monday because of the amazing role play between Miko and Eversalt. It was beautiful, and I thought I broke Eversalt with an acid trip, but it turns out it was just acting. It was just acting, and so there we go.
It's like drugs.
It kind of. It has been. Thank you all for getting in on this hype train. Love you all for being here.
Goodness.
Okay, I'm a little overwhelmed by
Dave.
by
Are
this.
we keeping track of all this advantage?
Yeah. I don't know.
Dave,
Somebody has to.
Let me take a second to give you some space to relax, and I want to talk to you about something, loyal viewers. Do you ever have to drink things? I know, given these mortal frames, it's just a pastime that we find both onerous and without much merit, but we found a way here at the Superior Guild to make drinking and replenishing the fluids in your mortal frame worthwhile. Andrew, if you will, Mr. Andrew G, do you perhaps have an example to show us how we can help people find this task more fulfilling and rewarding?
Absolutely, I do.
Vessel?
1 minute.
Jeez, you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. The Superior Adventurer Guild mug.
Check it out. We got mugs. We got merch. We got t-shirts, sweatshirts, baby shirts. We got pillows.
It's all true.
Masks, stickers.
Again,
Did
clothing
I mention
yourself.
we have mugs?
Another terrible task
100
we all have to do with these strange flesh frames.
I think you can probably get like a 20-foot banner if you really feel wild.
What? No,
Yeah.
that's not true. Do we
Well,
actually
Just
have
a
that?
guess.
It's
Why
called
not?
wall art. Check it out.
Yeah.
Well,
Follow the link.
I forgot that we had merch, so thank you for bringing that up, Michael and Andy. And that mug looks super sexy. I'm going to definitely order one after the stream. Let's see. Without further ado, I think we're going to jump into a quick recap of last week's game. I think you're in for a treat here, folks. So let me break it down for you. In our last episode, the Deg Gang set out to find the secret lair of the dark trickster named Nagalbu, who had used the power of nightmares to entrap the guardian of the Plasarian Grove, a Ravanala named Argosellan, for centuries. You followed the clue of some strange mushrooms, psychedelics, to a narrow canyon and a remote waterfall where you scrambled across the cavern walls, discovered an entrance to a hidden cave. There was a lot of shenanigans in there, so go back and check out the VOD because it was goofy as hell. Kirk. You entered the lair. You were attacked by skeletal sentries, which were easily cut down, but they did their job of alerting the cave's inhabitants. Creepy, undead, raven-like creatures and their leader, the ancient wild demon known as Nagalbu. The fight escalated quickly, with Byron taking damage from a flurry of razor-sharp feathers before Runar and he became terrified by Nagalbu's nightmare aura. Farah, unaffected, invoked her oath bow, did some awesome Elvish, which blew us all away, declared Nagalbu her sworn enemy before sticking it with a flurry of arrows. Theo used his warlock spellcasting ability to cast Wall of Light. Where the hell did that come from? That was crazy. Using magic to damage and blind Nagalbu while Runar and Byron cowered, from their horrible visions. But the damage of the Wall of Light was enough to break the demon's hold on you guys. And you snapped back to reality, rushing forward to attack. And ultimately, the four of you dropped Nagalbu to the ground, surprised that after centuries of corruption, the Namashal had finally sent worthy adversaries to kill them. But just as the party thought that they'd finished the demon off, it dematerialized into a swarm of strange worm-like creatures which began to slither quickly towards the water. You sprang into action, and before the worms could reach the river, you stomped them out, and the cave went silent. Now, my friends, we are going to jump forward a little bit, but there's a couple things that I want to throw at you. You guys recovered the Shard of Ehlenestra, a unicorn-shaped crystal that looks almost exactly, let me say that one more time, it looks almost exactly like the star-fallen fragment of Hyakutaki that Byron recovered from the crash site near South Fort Azure, if you recall the battle with the strange energy creatures. You searched Nagalbu's lair, and we mentioned that we have a Discord earlier. Our Discord friends helped us to determine what you found as you searched the lair. Now, my friends, I will tell you. You found 7,000 gold pieces worth of assorted non-spell component gems. A lot of gems, 7,000 gold pieces. You found a spell scroll. A spell scroll for Thunderclap, which does happen to be a bard spell, as well as other classes, just saying. You found a potion. Yep, sorry. What are you again?
Happy.
Necromancer. I don't think it's on the necromancer list. Shit. You also found a potion of greater healing. Byron's going to like this one. A folding boat. Folding boat.
A folding boat.
Can I get a hell yeah?
Whoa, is that like a collapsible? Is that like a portable ram?
It's almost as good as a portable ram. Yep.
Holy moly.
Yep,
They
look
have
it up.
Yep.
Real folding boats.
I'm looking it up right now.
Get this one. A potion of longevity. That's kind of fun. And this was a roll from Techie Woman. You also got a scroll of animal shapes. which is something I'd never even known existed. But there you go. So you found some good stuff. Hopefully somebody wrote that down. You spent the better part of the day afterwards heading back to the Namashal village in the Plasarian Grove. And it is there, my friends, where we will pick up tonight's episode. As you re-enter the Plasarian Grove, you see Arendriel and you see Kalima in prayer, in meditation at the pool, the Spring of Splendor near the Shrine of Ehlenestra. What do you do? Heroes victorious, returning.
Okay. So we're starting out in the cave, or we're starting out back?
You are back at the pool, the Spring of Splendor. You, as you approach victorious, you see that Arendriel and Kalima, the two Namashal elves, kind of are roused from their meditation. As the sun is kind of going down, the shadows are long, and they look up and see you. You've done it then?
Who has the horn? Who has the horn amongst us, guys?
Gather
I thought
your
you had the
people.
horn.
Then I have the horn.
Wait, we forgot the horn?
Grab the horn.
Oops.
I just wanted to see who was going to technically have it with starts. It's mine now. Ah,
All right.
as Theo just produces the horn. I believe this is it.
We
thought
have
it
covered
was,
the
was
whole.
going to be a lot
Yep.
harder than it actually was.
Yeah, I know where that goes too. My little monkey showed me.
Yes. This is good news. We have been waiting to implement. We have prepared ourselves for the ritual to wake Argosellan. If you would be so kind, and Kalima reaches out her hands to you, Theo.
I will gingerly place the not unicorn horn in her hand.
It looks ridiculously close to a unicorn horn, and she takes it from you, and you get a sense, almost of like sorrow in her as she takes the horn and she walks to the fane.
Clock that. Look over at Feyre.
She brings it over to the statue of the unicorn, sort of in this reverent position up on its hind legs, and there is a slot in the statue where this sacred artifact sits, and she places it into the unicorn. And as that happens, you look around and you see this sort of brilliant blue glow as the trees around you, these large palm trees, begin to blossom instantaneously with these blue glowing blossoms. They just all start to open up, and they emit sort of this strange aura of radiance, perhaps of beneficence. I don't know, but one of the trees in particular begins to glow, its bark sort of rippling, as if there's almost like some sort of a sheen, or like an oiled sort of in between your eyes and the tree. It's sort of like ripples, right? And it glows this blue glow. Kalima looks at you, looks back at this tree. It is Argosellan. This is the one. If you recall from before, they didn't quite know which tree was Argosellan. It had been centuries since this creature had been with them. In fact, Kalima's great-great-grandmother, I think, was the one who had initially lost this artifact.
And lost the Entwife.
Look, it sounds like it's husbando.
Oopsie.
We'll see.
Yeah. She sits down in front of Argosellan, and she bids you all join her if you so choose to do.
Yes.
She begins to recite a prayer. And it's in Elven, so if any, some of you can speak Elvish, some of you can't. Sorry,
Halfway
Byron.
through, I'm going to get up and walk away.
Okay. Kirk, Byron gets up and leaves. It's like, Damn it. Where are the subtitles? But she goes into this almost like a trance, and she's saying this prayer: Goddess of the Grove, wash us in your tears, cleanse this place of power so it may serve your will. Wake your champion from their dire sleep. Too long have they dreamed of doom and death. Pour over the land your benevolent light, under which to sow seeds of hope and health. May the bird's evening song, opening of curled ferns, quiet rustle of mountain breeze, the doe's wagging tail, the spider's intricate web be signal to your children that a new day of growth and splendor has begun for Argosellan. Cleanse this place of power so it may serve you. And as she finishes, the sky above opens up with rain, and the rain just starts to fall as it soaks everything, the trees, the big fronds from these leaves sort of like bend as the water washes whatever strange magic had held them at bay begins to wash off. And you look about, and the glow intensifies. The flowers now, those sprouting from buds, these large flowers start to pop in the canopy. Now, is there anything that any of you do other than get up and walk away during the ceremony? Or you simply sit and listen?
Theo is respectfully listening. Just kind of like, yep, you guys do whatever you need to.
After I get drenched with water, I will like move over to like some kind of an overhang or something. So you just see her like.
Theo's
Just
into
not
it. He's
happy.
just like full King Theoden with just like wet, bedraggled hair here, and just like
Yeah. Just dried off after that waterfall.
You look over at Kalima as you are a bit like uncomfortable maybe, or not super happy about being wet, whatever it might be, or not understanding the language. You look over at her, and she begins, as she's praying, to look withered, to look withdrawn, to look as though her life essence is being drained from her. And she starts to sort of convulse a little bit as she maintains her prayer, continuing to speak the words. But you can see that she's sort of almost as if she's sort of like aging rapidly. And Rendriel, her companion, the other Namashal elf, comes to her side and like scoots over and like holds her. And he says, I have no idea what this is. What's happening?
I believe she knows what she is doing. And Theo will like kind of at that point get up, move over, sit down, and kind of support her from the other side. And just kind of looks at this other elf and goes, there are some old magics that a life for a life.
Roll an Arcana check for me. And if anybody else has any sort of a skill or other sort of contribution that you would want to make to this effort, let me know what that is.
I'm using advantage because we're drowning in them.
Okay.
I would like to roll a medicine check to see, if I cast a healing spell on her, would that help, or would it not be worth my time?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll a medicine check.
16 on the Arcana.
I'll use
16.
advantage too.
Okay.
12.
All right. So Theo, you do recognize this sort of type of magic, this type of ritual that does draw upon the invoker's life force to trigger as almost as if it is a spell component. The essence of their soul needs to go into this, and you know that this oftentimes, unless there are groups of mages or clerics or magic users working together, it's a very difficult spell or ritual to invoke, and she's trying to do it alone essentially. Feyre, you look at her and you get the sense that healing would potentially help to bolster her life force.
Then I will either take her hand if she has a hand free, or just like put my hand on her wrist and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
At, let's just say, at 4th level.
Okay. Go ahead and roll some wound curing.
Okay. So that is 18 points of healing.
Okay. Excuse me. Runar or Byron, is there anything that you do? Byron, you've kind of gotten up and walked away a little bit.
I'm going to back up.
As soon as it starts raining, step into some shade. Chuck's gonna crawl out onto my shoulder. He's gonna start watching. We're gonna watch for a little bit. I'm gonna look at him and be like, do you understand any of this? This is what I'm gonna say to Chuck.
Chuck just kind of looks at you and shrugs.
Yeah, me either. Man,
He goes in your beard and picks out some bugs.
thank you. I think there's one down here.
Theo, meanwhile, is a well-meaning idiot. So he is going to take the other hand of our good priestess, whose name I looked up. So remember, is it Lima?
Kalima.
Kalima.
Yep.
And is going to begin reciting the prayer and join in on the ritual.
Okay.
And will in fact pour both of his spell slots into it if he is able. His whole 2.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, so.
But they're both 5th level. So
give me a sense of that's some pretty powerful magic. Sort of give us a sense of how that is affecting your contribution. That's a success right there for sure. But how does that work?
Theo, the feats I probably should have taken for him and didn't think about till right now. It's someone who understands the academics of spellcraft, arcana, whatnot. So he knows enough to recognize what's happened. He knows how you would help if you were trained in this, which he's not had the hands-on, the component that would give you the ritual caster feat. But he's still trying. But I imagine the benefits of being a warlock is that it tends to pour out partially through intention at that point, and just given the way he tends to do things, just ripples of circles begin to kind of radiate around him and fade into the ground, and each of the circles is just done in that kind of electric blue, tiny scroll rune work that a lot of his magic tends to take up, as it just kind of radiates out from where he's sitting and into the ground and like down his arm, trying to go into the priestess to help her out. And he will dump everything he's got into it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's an auto success on that. Runar, was there anything else that you wanted to contribute to this?
No, once Kalima starts aging in a weird way, he's going to just slowly back up. Like, just really suspicious of like anything that's going on. Like, he doesn't understand this stuff. So
yeah. Understood.
He's gonna give him a little space.
It's an elf thing.
Yeah.
He's just gonna,
I'll elf bullshit here.
Make sure nothing strange is happening.
Okay, roll a perception check.
Perception. Oops, I did that with advantage, but it was still 25. I didn't.
Yeah, you look around.
Advantage.
That's all right. You look around, and there's a lot of strange shit happening right now. These trees are starting to glow with this bright blue energy. The one that is in front of Kalima and Feyre and Theo is starting to move almost as if it is more than a plant. Like it has some sort of, it almost starts to look as if it's got some sort of humanoid characteristics, with some of the branches starting to look like arms. The sort of this knot and bowl and an old sort of like dark spot in the bark starts to start to look like a face. It's very strange. I need, let's see, Feyre, why don't you go ahead and roll a d20 for me?
Don't mess it up.
Just a straight d20.
Will do.
7.
Oh shit, really?
I don't know what that means.
Okay, so
No one does.
wow. Okay, so this is what happens is that you and Theo are sort of helping her. You're pumping your healing energy into her ritual. Theo, you're using your knowledge and spell slots to energize and amplify what she's doing. And the DC, because of everything that just happened, was actually a 7. So you made it, but it was just by the skin of your teeth. And what happens is she passes out at the end of the prayer, and she hits the ground. So you kind of catch her, Feyre. She kind of slumps into your lap a little bit, just sweaty. But you look down at her, and she no longer has that appearance of withered or aged. She looks to be herself, but just she's tired and worn out. You don't get the sense that she's like dying or anything. She is exhausted from. But then your eyes immediately go up, and you look up, and you see this creature, this tree man that is enormous, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet tall. It's hard to tell. And it just kind of bends down and looks at the three of you sitting there. Runar, you noticed this too with that perception check. Byron, you turn and look at as you hear the sounds of the jungle change a little bit. Well, it must be done then. I have woken from my long and dreadful nap. Who are you, little ones?
Theo is just kind of staring wide-eyed, and just on reflex, he just spouts out this like deeply archaic and stylized greeting, like the type of thing you read in like old like Homerian epics of, "We bear you greeting, O son of the earth, from those ages which whence came before. To this day we do bring thee good tidings, and unto that life which you have been brought we are most pleased."
I'm Feyre.
My, aren't you a polite one? Hello.
Always important to be polite to the people looking at you, and that are much bigger than you.
Are you?
How did you find yourselves here in my grove?
Oh, well, we were brought here by the elves here, and they asked us if we would retrieve that unicorn horn from the Golbu, and so we did. And you're here.
For the record, Nagobu was a dick.
And
He
he
has
is
been
no
defeated.
Ha 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 ha. Ah, Golbu is quite a dick indeed. Oh, tell me, did they suffer?
It was really quick. So
I think so.
There was a lot of cleansing light and flame.
Yes.
That's true.
Y'all look dead already.
Oh, hello. You look oddly familiar. And this Argosellan, this giant tree creature, kind of like gets down and sort of looks at you right in the eyes, Byron. What is your name?
My name is Dr. David McGillinguddy.
Insight check. Just kidding.
What a time to use the alias.
Yeah. Pleasure to meet you, Dr. Dave. Tell me, what of the Namashal? Is this Kalima?
Oh, yes.
This is Kalima, and that's Erendriel. Point to Erendriel, who's like right next to us all.
She is quite tired from the ceremony that awoke you.
She tried to do it by herself, and I'm not sure it's supposed to be done all by one person.
It's not.
Let me see. Gets down on one knee. Now you can see that, strangely, this tree has legs. And he kind of gets down on one knee, and he just takes a branch and reaches out delicately with the finest little branch and bops her on the nose. Bop. And she starts to come to, and she stirs in your arms, still sort of confused and maybe a little out of it, but she comes to and she sits up. Thank you for waking me from that dreadful sleep. How long have I been at rest?
How do trees reckon years?
Seasons, perhaps?
Yes.
How many centuries did they say?
Several.
Several.
Well, I thought it was like
like
2 generations or something like that.
Elven generations.
Oh,
So I would say, like what, 12 of my lifetimes?
Not very long then. Just a bit of a nap.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of a mean way of putting it.
for you. A long time for us.
Yeah.
Arendriel and Kalima are like, right now they're speechless. And you can see Kalima, there's tears running down her eyes, and she begins to prostrate herself before the Argosellan, the guardian of the grove, and she starts to sort of apologize, and he just sort of like lifts her up a little bit and forgives her lineages for what happened. It was not your fault that the trickster meddled in our peacefulness here. You, friends, have saved this place. He sort of waves his branches, and you look behind you now, and you see that. Remember when you took some? All right. Spoiler alert: there was some drug use in a previous episode, and you guys smoked a little bit of sweet leaf. You remember that you had visions of this very splendid, You don't remember. Yep,
I wasn't
Farah
there.
can't remember nothing. I
Wasn't
wasn't there. Swear.
Or do you mean like the 2 episodes before where we were hanging out with the chief leader?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Whenever that was, and you guys
A
had
recent trip, not the
had
really big one.
Yeah, not the one from before. Wow. I guess we do this a lot.
Microdosing, it's important, bro.
All right. I like it. You do remember though that you had visions of the Spring of Splendor, and it was like this beautiful verdant spring with the foliage just at full robust growth stages, the plants in the water emanating like these different colors and just this vibrant life in the water. You look over, and where it was once kind of like this chalky white coral, there are now fish of all different colors swimming about, this iridescent green, blue, purple, and red like underwater habitat essentially. And it just looks, the water has sort of swelled up to a higher level with the rains that came down, and it just looks completely different. It looks like your vision.
That was very quick.
Tell me, heroes, how may I repay your deeds?
I would say we would have a greater question and a lesser question, if that is okay with you.
Okay, like 50 questions.
Trying to keep it simple.
Let's start with the
2.
first question.
What do you
How
know
old
about
are
the
you?
city?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Theo.
Are you sure you didn't mean to? I feel like you may have meant to.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 40.
Not you. Him. That. It. Them. They.
We are quite old.
All right. You can have the next question.
Thank you so
Question
much, Doctor.
Wow.
So the question that brought us hence, what do you know of the place called Tomoa-chan?
Ah, the great Olman city. I know but a little. I must ask you why do you seek this information? It is an important question because of that which lies beneath
The doom
forgotten
of all
city.
mankind that lies there, that is being wakened now by the Scarlet Brotherhood, that we have traveled literally across the sea to try and stop from happening. Yes, that one. That is what we are very worried about. And that is why we're asking.
Yes, we know a great power of some sort resides there. And we
At
are
least
trying
a doom. We know a doom resides there.
well, we're trying to
Guess
keep the
sounds about
wrong people from getting their hands on it.
I do not know of this brotherhood that you speak of. I have not heard of them, but
You don't want to.
do know of this city. It is one of the great cities of the Ulman Empire, ruled by a strange guild of priests in league with dark deities. It is said, as you rightfully assert, that there is some strange, powerful relic buried beneath the ruins. Perhaps something far worse. There are older stories of Tomoe-chan that have been told amongst my kind. So you know they're old. He kind of looks over at Byron.
I am not here to judge. You look like just a fresh sapling.
Why, thank you. You are too kind. These older stories tell of a much more ancient, how should I say, elder evil that rests beneath the city of Tomoe-chan. Some alien god that predates even my kind. Perhaps giving the power to the deities of the Ulman people, the winged abominations of Kamazats, maybe empowering them or their ritualistic slaughter. Perhaps a strange, thin veil between worlds.
Well, we are very much pro-peace, as you were saying in your speech earlier, and we would like not to have evil, alien, destructive gods rain down new and terrible ways of living upon the general people of maybe the Ulman Empire or maybe the rest of us
That
as
sort of thing
well.
tends to eat most
Yeah.
of the world. We're
Yep.
definitely against that, which is why we're trying to find our way to Tomoe-chan.
Yep. We're gonna make war with these devils.
No.
So
We're
we
making war
love
with the devils
peace.
later. First we're
End
making-
war with these.
Yeah. We are peace lovers. I'm a doctor. And we're gonna destroy these evil
Right.
perverse of nature.
The important part is the comet Hayukataki has come, and we believe that is going to be used by the Brotherhood to loosen the bindings of whatever it is beneath Tomoe-chan, and we would desperately like to stop that. We have a map. That's what we've got.
Yes, if you could point out on the map maybe where that city is, and if you have any assistance or words of wisdom that you could offer us in our ability to stop the apocalypse, we would appreciate it.
You say Hayakutaki has returned.
And
Bitch.
dropped pieces all over the jungle.
It looked a lot like that unicorn horn.
As you say that, Kalima, who is sort of coming back into her sort of wits, her wherewithal, she turns and listening to you, she turns to Argosellan and says, "Yes, it was foretold in the prophecies that Hayakutake would return, that we would be visited by heroes that would wake you. Things have fallen into place."
Just slow turn to stare, like,
It is as they say, a dangerous time. There have been visitors from the coast, not just taking people away, but taking away bodies and souls of the dead. Some power grows stronger to the east. Will you help them, Argosellan? You embark upon a dangerous quest. Are you ready?
well, before we say yes and immediately move on to
right
what I think is
now.
about to happen, the other question we had, much more of a request, if we're being honest. When we came here through the jungle, we encountered and have helped shepherd here a small band of refugees, and I will point over to where I think the refugees are. We would beg that if you would allow them sanctuary here in the Grove, at least for some time, while they figure out what to do with their lives that were destroyed by the coming of Hayakutake, that would be most pleasing and good.
Arendriel steps in right away. Of course we will. They are welcome to stay here for as long as they please. We have sought refuge here in the Plasarian mountains, and so shall they too find refuge. Tell me, this map that you speak of, let us take a look.
Captain?
Oh, yes. Here we go. And I'll unfold the map and kind of like lay it out so he can see it. I don't.
On the
Is there
ground,
something to
maybe?
put it on?
You just kind of
I'll make-
hold it up. You kind of hold it up like this.
I'll grab Byron and spin him around and lay it out across his back.
One of
Hold
his branches comes down and just points. And it kind of pokes you in the back, Byron. Not hard, but you can feel it. He gives you like a little scratch, little branch scratch.
Oh, nice. Oh,
And then he looks at the map. He says, "This map is quite useful indeed." He looks it over. He points up at this sort of these sea monster like graphics and kind of giggles a bit. I remember that one.
Do you know
I
what
do
that,
too. It was not very fun.
Do you know what that represents?
Terrible danger for little
Okay.
ones.
There's something like that ate the ship that I was on before I met these fellows.
Just big tentacles. All right.
That's what I saw.
That is terrible. You look for the lost city of Tamawichan, and my friends, it is in the vicinity north of the mountain range, to the eastern quadrant of this map. Far, far from here. But we have ways to deal with far, far away from here.
You going to call giant eagles across the mountains?
We do not speak with the eagles much these days. They have snubbed us just a little bit. We're working. We're going to work it out with them. But
Seems rude of them.
they mean well. Anyways, when you are ready, come to me and I will help you move yourselves there using the magic of the Ravanala.
So you can just
Yes,
send us there.
We may need a short rest first.
I'm exhausted.
Maybe a day. I don't know.
A long rest.
Yeah.
Gather yourselves, prepare your supplies, but be warned that time here in the Plasarian peaks moves at a different pace than it does in other parts of the jungle.
Oh,
Ooh.
how different?
Time here passes slower.
Oh, well, that's,
No, we missed our. We got to call the ship.
We will.
I
Told
can
them we'd check in. It's
I
probably
can call
been.
the ship before we take a rest.
Yes, let's have a meal. Let's take a moment to collect ourselves, to rest, plan, make a few calls.
Yep.
And plus, we should probably let our good friends here meet each other and establish whatever relations they need to. We are vaguely, newcomers here, so we will withdraw for a moment, let you all take care of your business, and return soon.
Good thinking. Good thinking.
So,
Mr. Argo. Oh,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
go ahead.
Mr. Sir Tree Argosellan.
Yes.
Do you happen to know this lady named Fiore?
The Orth Mother?
Yeah, are you
The
friends?
goddess?
We've met.
Nice.
Yes.
That's wow. Can you just
That's just a big old from Theo.
can you just I don't know, just tell her that Chuck is doing great. That I'm still thinking about Mr. Axbeak and Sir Tiger. That we're totally gonna hunt down this evil and purge it of from her lands, and we're gonna this is gonna be a good time, Let her know that I'm thinking of her. That's all.
He just kind of nods. Are there any other questions that you have of me?
How many languages can you speak?
One.
Whoa. That is less than me. You need to go back to school. Anyways, sorry. My gosh, I get excited when we're on things that are talk as slow as I do a lot of the time.
It's okay.
Yep. Oh, one last question. Sorry, last one. Swear to God. Can Chuck, run around up in those branches that you got hanging out?
Of course.
Yep. Sending him up there. Boom. Chuck's running up and down Argosellan now.
You see Argosellan kind of smile, and he's almost like he's kind of giggling a little bit.
Nice.
Good job.
Deeply in need of a beverage.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find the rest of I'm gonna find Runar and Theo and Feyre. Just leave Chuck with Argosellan for now.
Okay. I think we can say that you have an opportunity if you wanted to ask him any additional questions. You could do so if you want to start to prepare yourselves for whatever the next leg of your journey is. You can do that as well. Basically, the idea is you return to him when you're ready to move to the next location, and he has the magics that'll get you there. So what would you do to prepare? Go ahead, Michael.
Drink. First of all, very stiff drink after that. Definitely look at everyone and go, that happened. Okay. Woo.
Yeah.
I mean, when is anything normal, really?
Right.
So,
yeah, I know exactly
mean,
what you're talking about, Pharaoh.
He's just gonna send us straight there.
Probably.
Yeah,
I
it's probably a
they're-
teleport or like a vine slide or
Turn
Like
us
a
into
rude-
clouds or birds.
yeah, we're gonna
or-
like
Been on a vine slide before that transported you somewhere?
I mean, I don't know, but I mean, it could be like that. It could be we could be absorbed by the roots, like regrow as flowers in a different spot of the jungle. Like, there's all kinds of ways that this could
Yeah.
happen.
He's not wrong, and that's terrifying me even more than everything else that's just
But
happened.
like, here's the deal: we should really just think about this for a second, because we have access to a being that has existed longer than I've been alive, like 8, 10, 12, 40 times over. And we're going to be able to ask it some questions here before we, I don't know, try and save the world yet again. This is I mean, do you guys have any, like we could learn things that we don't know and use them fighting this evil that is, poisoning this jungle down here. This is an opportunity that if we just like, oh, let's go, we're gonna miss out. We're gonna lose a lot of chances.
The opportunity for intel is great, but I don't even know what questions to begin asking.
Right, and that's why I'm asking you guys. We put our minds together. We're like 4 minds.
Well, the thing is, though, he didn't say that he particularly fully knew what the thing was
Yeah,
that
I mean, he
was
did tell us a
underneath
lot
the city.
Tomoe-chan.
So we can't necessarily ask, like, what is it susceptible to? Like, can we use cold or fire? Or, I mean, we could try, but I don't know that he would actually know anything like that.
We could ask, yeah. You never know. There could be old stories.
Yeah, we might. I mean, if we don't ask, let me tell you, he's not going to tell us.
That is true.
There's also the Namashal that you could inquire with if you had questions too. So just throwing that out there if there's things you want
Right.
to ask. But
You could make a few talk if you know what I'm saying.
that's right. Hey, wait a
Yeah, I
minute.
mean, I'd like to
Hey.
ask if, find anybody as part of the Namashal who has ventured in that area of the map where the tree had pointed, to see if there's anyone who had information about creatures that were dangerous in that area, or I don't know, water features, or other information about the city itself, or rumors
Okay.
about it.
Yeah, so I think you would pick up on the fact that they haven't ventured beyond the if we zoom in here, there's sort of this plateau. You can see where this tear is right here. There's this plateau that runs from the bottom up to the falls here, which I think you learned a little bit about the falls at one point.
Yeah.
But they have not ventured that far. They do have some information you learn from talking with Arendriel and other elders of this particular tribe, that there was a massive battle fought on the Zuma Plains, which was this area in between, sort of like where the Zuma Rift is right here, used to be a plains, like a grassland area almost. And there was a massive battle, and the stories that they tell are that the warriors from the various sides of the battle were swallowed by the earth as this rift opened up. And that it's really unclear. Nobody knows why it opened up, but they say that it's a doorway to the underworld. That's sort of like the local legend and lore, that they consider that to be a dangerous sort of no-go zone because of that. There is, down in this mountain range here, right here, this is called the Huayhuash Mountains, and it's said to have once been inhabited by a powerful necromancer who was a cultist and high priest of Zatzalaha, which is also translated to Kamazats, which you've heard that before, in reference to Tomoe-chan. And if you inquire more about that, these were kind of vampiric deities that the Ullman held in high reverence, and their priests channeled the magic of these creatures. And then they talk a little bit about the river to the south, which they've never been, but it is said to be a vast, wide river that flows across the continent. But they don't really know much else about it. They've stayed very close to the Plasarian Grove. As you look at the map more, I don't know if you potentially study it, but there's writings over in this quadrant, in the northeast quadrant. I don't know if anybody has ever taken a look at what that says. It's written in a handwritten script.
I've not
on
been
top
able to
of
make
the
it
map.
out.
It's hard to read.
Yep, it is.
Tomoe-chan ruins.
I got this.
Located to the north of the.
And then it's
Something?
cut off. Yep,
Shrine. Blank shrine.
Shrine. Look for the obelisk
Obelisk.
with the something.
Carvings that face east.
They don't know what the hell that means, but they look at it and bring it up as you inquire. There's other locations. They don't know what these markings are. These strange, like, I don't know, arrow-like markings. They're not sure what those are. That's about all they can tell you about the map itself. Go ahead, Runar.
I was gonna just point to these swords. In the north middle of the map.
Yeah. So those are called the Netzotl Falls. They know this well. This is a story that they have kept in their lore. That these falls overlook the ruined city of Yoldira, which was once inhabited by a fierce Ullman tribe, but is now only inhabited by night stalkers. That's the name that they say in Elvish. I think you might have heard that story before, possibly. But they have an Elvish term for night stalkers.
I did hear Night Stalkers by Waterfall at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask them more about these night stalkers. What are they? Are they elves? Are they men? Do you know?
They don't know what they are. What they know is that they feed on the life essence of the living, and they bring only destruction and pain.
Are they nocturnal?
They're not sure about the life history, but they do know that they're bad dudes and dudettes. They're bad folk. But you could take a detour there if you wanted to.
We have time.
Stay on target.
What about are there locations that are good? Like, can we get, like, I don't know, like a compendium of edible plants, and things that would keep us out of trouble, ways to stay out of trouble, like natural fauna and flora that we should avoid?
So they can try to educate you, Byron, on some of those different skills, but they don't have any written documents. They don't have any books, for example, to give you. There was, incidentally, a book in Nerisban that I threw at you guys a couple times that you didn't buy. But if you want to make a nature check, first of all, are you proficient in nature? Nope. Okay. You can make a nature check to see if you can retain some of the information. You're literally spending, like, how many days are you guys spending here getting ready?
Just the evening, I
Just
think.
yeah, just the evening.
Oh, okay. Just one evening? Okay.
Whoa. We should spend at least a day here.
Go
I'll
ahead
try
and
to
roll
convince
a
everyone.
nature check. All
I'm
right.
going to use one of my advantages too.
Okay.
A 14.
14. You think you can remember a couple of them. You are a journaler. Some might call you a scrapbooker back home. but you do write down some notes in your journal that you think are pretty close. You and Arendriel probably, or one of his buddies, are sitting around and talking, and you're taking notes, and they look it over and they're like, yeah, that looks pretty good. You seem to have some good natural history notes of some plants that are edible and some plants to stay away from.
Sweet.
So when you make a if you are tasked with making a nature check for any sort of identification of plants, remind me of that, and we'll see if it helps you. Edibles are now legal. Thank you. We appreciate that. Dungeons and Drones. Hello. Any other information or preparations that you guys want to do here?
I think I'm sending a bunch of messages.
Yeah, we do need to check in with the boat.
Okay.
Is there anything you want me to say exactly to the boat?
Let them know we're alive. We're making money. We miss them dearly. And how's the boat doing? And are you alive and okay?
Some captains might ask that one first, but that's okay. That's all right.
Like
are
you.
you missing us dearly?
How much do you miss us on a scale of 1 to 10? All right, Farah, you're going to send some messages.
Yes.
So you send one to the... Go ahead and send away.
All right. Hello, Fritz. It's Farah. Just checking in. How are the crew and the boat and everything? We miss you. Lots.
Nice. You send your very specific and well-spoken message, and you wait for the response, anticipating Fritz's generally happy-go-lucky, can-do sort of attitude with his strange quasi-Scandinavian accent. But you don't get a response.
Did you hear back?
No.
Nothing yet?
He didn't respond yet. I mean, he could be sleeping, I guess. But it's, usually my voice wakes people up. And I don't think I've ever had it happen before that nobody's ever responded when I haven't responded when I send them a message.
Price
the orb.
sales.
The orb.
Well, the orb. I produce the orb and promptly begin to ponder
Said
the orb.
Yeah. Remind everybody about the orb. What does the orb do?
The orb lets you ponder things. Also, it is very specifically linked to a second orb, not unlike perhaps, say, a set of linked Palantiri, except with 100% less Sauron the Dark Lord involved in this equation, as far as we know. We don't know what else is connected to this. We could be about to drunk dial the Dark Lord. Let's find out.
Okay.
We will activate the orb.
Give me an Arcana check as you channel some orbic energy to try to see what you can see through the other optical receiver, the paired orb.
I've rolled 21 in Arcana to interface with the orb.
Okay. So you focus on the orb. You're kind of sitting there cross-legged, both your hands on it, concentrating as best as you can. And it is very difficult. You are having a really hard time not activating the orb. The orb is working as it should, but you're unable. It's almost as if the other side is disconnected in the parlance of our times. And you are sort of like trying to figure out what is going on, and you focus harder, and you try some different sort of techniques to concentrate and channel your arcane knowledge and energy as a warlock. And eventually you see sort of like this staticky view inside the orb, and it comes clear momentarily, and you see that the receiving end of the orb that you're communicating with is in a net held up on a mast, as you asked them to do, and the ship is sailing, and it is windy and stormy, and it is bouncing up and down, and there's water splashing over the bow of the ship, and you can see as you sort of use your arcane energy to look about through the orb. You can't see very far, but you can see that there are people working on the deck and trying to keep the ship moving in this fairly significant storm.
They are in the middle of a storm. That is most likely why they haven't responded. Also, it probably does not help that we are in a realm of time fuckery.
Oh,
That is
time
the-
distortion.
That is the arcane term, time fuckery.
All right. Well,
As they say in the
appeared alive.
Feywild.
As they do say amongst the Fey.
Well, they appeared alive. We'll try again later.
Well, I can try again. I have a number of these.
Might want to give him a little bit to respond.
Well, I mean, that's fine. I don't know how long the reply can take after I send it. But I could try someone else. Did you recognize anyone on the deck?
No, but you could always try Sales. She's got a good head on her shoulders.
All right, I'll try Sales.
Despite not liking pink or sparkles.
Mm-mm.
No accounting for taste.
That is so rude.
Okay. Sales. It's us. We're okay. You're in a storm. Are you okay? How's Fritz? We miss you lots. Bye.
It takes a couple of minutes, and you're sort of like, oh fuck, are they going to answer? Like, somebody's got to answer this message. What's the range on message? Is it just someone you know, indefinite range? I don't remember.
Sending, technically.
sending.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so sending can reach people in other planes.
Oh.
No,
Very
you have to
cool.
be on this plane.
Oh, you have
But
to be on the same
anywhere
plane.
on this
Plane.
plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. No.
Oh, really? I thought it was...
You can
Anywhere.
send the message across any distance, even to
yeah.
other planes.
Never mind.
Ooh,
But
fancy.
if the target is on a different plane, there is a 5% chance that the message would not arrive.
Roll a D100, please.
$13 were fine.
13.
Okay. Yeah, it takes a couple of minutes, but you hear a reply. Pharaoh, is that you? Fuck, Storm, we're trying to stay afloat. Where have you been? It's been a year.
The heck?
What?
We
Can you
thought
tell
you
us
were
this?
dead. And then it goes silent.
She said it has been a year.
So we need to
We need to get going.
Yep. Time to go.
yeah, how about we
Really
see how
first
he
thing.
wants to travel us to that, like the mountains right next to or above Tomoa-chan, and we'll find a spot there to rest. Does that sound good?
Yeah, maybe we
Yep,
should
like it.
sleep just outside the city somewhere.
Yeah,
Let's get
great,
going.
go.
Little-
Yep. Let's go call him. Let's get him. I got this. I'll telepathically go to Chuck. Chuck, tell him we're ready.
Chuck doesn't speak tree, does he?
Chuck does some
Um,
like third base hand wavy stuff. Okay, so just to clarify for the DM, you are not taking a rest. You are going
Are you sure
to
about?
fast travel and then take a rest.
Yes.
That's the plan.
Okay?
So we haven't rested since the battle with Nogobo.
No.
No.
That was during the day. On this day, you have returned. It is sort of like nightfall.
But we only spent one night in the Plasarian Grove.
Could any of our time in the
And-
grove be considered a short rest?
Yes, absolutely. You could
Okay.
have a short rest, without a doubt.
We probably
you-
were
if
having a
you-
short rest, and then this information came in, and we're like, oh,
Right. It has been probably, as Farah mentioned, about a day since you've entered the mountains. And if Sales is not screwing with you, they believe it to have been like a year since you disappeared. But yeah,
One
if you
day-
guys don't need a long rest, then you don't need a long rest. I mean, your warlock has no spell slots, but that's
I have
fine.
a short rest. I've got my spell slots back.
Oh, you do? All right,
Yeah.
good. All right, at least we've got that. Warlocks, love them. Gotta love them. Okay.
So 1 day, 1 year. Let's we need to get this moving, and who knows how the Tomoa-chan and the comment and all that other stuff is happening while we've been here.
Yeah, we need to get out of the grove and then figure it out from there. So let's do that thing.
Okay.
Maybe we missed our chance already.
Let's go find out.
Yep.
So
need
we
to go.
trump down
Yep.
to the secret grove.
You
Grab
head
all our
back
big
to
packs, yeah.
Argosellan. Kalima, Arendriel, the Quinn Tigerberry, a number of the refugees follow you down to the grove along the shores to the Shrine of Ehlenestra, and Argosellan is waiting for you.
Hey, Quinn, important note in case it ever comes up later. Time doesn't work right here compared to out there. The day or so we have spent in here appears to have been about a year to the outside world. Doesn't matter for you all, but may come up when you come out and find out that 3 centuries have passed and no one remembers Fort South Asia. Could be good.
I don't care to remember that place, so yeah, maybe it is
History
good.
won't either, most likely.
Dreadful little town. Thank you for everything that you did for us and for all of these people that you saved. You got us here and convinced these good elves to take us in, and for that we appreciate it.
I don't like letting people die in the woods. Just personal habit.
It's a good policy.
Seen it happen a couple of times. Never good.
We are glad to have been able to help you.
Yes. It's good that this grove is back to its,
Splendor.
splendor. Yep, that's the word I was looking for.
As you are preparing and having this conversation, a couple of the kids come up, Farah, that you shared your candy with when you first met the kids, and they come up and kind of tug on your sleeve. Miss Farah, could you play us one more song before you leave?
Oh, sure. Well, while we're waiting for everything to get organized, and I'll pull out my lute and I'll start playing a beautiful little tune that is uplifting and joyful to kind of, lift the spirits of the kids.
Nice. Just for the heck of it, give me a performance check. Not for the quality necessarily of the song, because it's fantastic. We all know that. But for the impact that it has on the refugees and the Namashal as
It's
you are bidding
only-
goodbye.
Only a 17. I did very
Would you roll
badly.
a 1?
4.
Oh, hell.
Holy shit! She only has plus 13, folks. I mean, what are you gonna do? Yeah.
Hearts.
There are tears, they are so sad to see you go, these kids, and they're just kind of hunkered down watching you. And some of the women, older women, are sort of like with the kids, sort of like spinning them around and dancing a little bit, and you get a sense that people are happy but sad to see you go. And you step forward, and Arendriel shakes each of your hands. There's no way that I could repay you for what you've done by waking our guardian from the long sleep. Be safe. Come back to us someday. Good luck.
We may
We're
need it.
off to save the world.
Chuck climbs down from the branches at this point, Byron, and hops up on your shoulder as you all, the four of you and Chuck, approach Argosellan, and he looks down at you and says, "Well then, it's time."
Yes, if you could put us not in the city, but maybe a little bit away from the city where we could maybe take a long rest before we're seen by the citizens of the city.
And some reconnaissance.
That would be ideal.
I will do my best,
We
little
believe in
ones. But I know only one grand tree from that region, and you will be met upon it. Good luck.
Where- So that tree is where? Is it in the city?
It is near.
Oh, all right. Near is good. Near is good.
you. Work with what we are given.
With that, Argosellan steps aside, and you can see that down his branches, this blue energy, almost like electricity, comes down a branch as he reaches out and touches a nearby tree, this huge, majestic, almost as big as he is, palm tree with these huge fronds and beautiful blue flowers that are glowing, like I had mentioned earlier in the game. And you watch as the vines and the moss that sort of wrap around this tree begin to sort of recede and pull back to expose a shimmering green portal. And you hear that telltale sparkle. Ding! And you
Vine
see
slide,
that it is hard to look through. It's kind of like shimmering, but you can see something on the other side of it.
That's our cue. Let's go.
Okay, I'll go first. Theo will
After
lead
you.
the way.
Okay.
Just as he's going through, he's gonna say, "I love this spell on critical."
I'm going to dive in literally within a second after him.
I'll run after them.
Yep, I'll charge through.
All right. And as you run through, Runar, behind you, it just closes. And the four of you find yourself in this strange in-between. Theo, you've felt things like this before. It is not as jarring as the I guess transition that you've had between time and space, but it feels almost warm and like a blanket. It
Much
feels
nicer.
comfortable, and it feels gentle as you find yourself sort of pulling through this astral sort of like vines and branches and shrubs, nothing thorny. It's all like this soft, moist, organic space that you pull through, and you pull with your hand and you open up and you can see the other side of this shimmering portal. And what seemed like a journey takes place in a nanosecond, and you pop out on the other side, and you find yourself in this dark, foggy, dense jungle canopy, thick underbrush. You hear some sort of creature howling in the distance, something you've not heard before. You look up and you see a dark shadow cross over between you and what passes for a moon, whatever moonlight there might be. And we will take our break here and come back as you have stepped through the portal to find yourself in a completely different part of the Amadio jungle. I can't wait to see what happens next. Really big shout out to our sponsors, CZRPG and Old Goat Beard Company. We do have a giveaway. If you type !drawing into the chat, you'll be entered to win either the Aqua Cadent supplement for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, which is this really cool looking supplement. There's this crazy queen, blah, blah, blah. You got to take her down. You know how it is. Great maps. What do they have? They've got, holy shit. Guess how many maps there are. Just take a wild guess. 25. You got 25 maps. You got new encounters, new stat blocks, custom artwork, a brand new location with lore. We love the lore. Exclamation mark trying to get in on this. And then you guys, we're also going to be giving away, as you know, from Andy and his wife, handcrafted small batch beard oil to make your beard nice and supple. Thank you all for being here, you guys. We had an awesome hype train going. That's on you guys. Thank you so much for your support of this stream. It is humbling and exciting, and we're excited to get back into it after this quick bio break. So we'll see you in just, I don't know, 5 minutes. How's that sound? We'll see you then. Mics are hot, Ashley.
Hot mics.
All right, so we're going to dive back into this, my friends. You have come out, as they say, on the other side of this crazy, sort of a modified tree stride scenario that spans thousands of miles, perhaps. I don't know, it's a long ways. Hundreds at least. You find yourself in this dark, thick jungle, as I mentioned before the break. Many of you have night vision or dark vision, so you're able to see in sort of the gray shadows that your eyes allow you to, but it is quite dark and foggy overhead. As I mentioned, what passes for moonlight, you saw a shadow of something flying, something potentially large flying overhead. As you step out of the portal into this new place, what do?
Kill all humans?
I'm going to
Yes.
reach around trying
Yes,
to
I
find
did.
somebody.
This is a very different place. Let's gather around here.
It's so dark. Where are you guys?
It might be a time to, and just put a hand on Byron's other shoulder with,
Oh, thank goodness.
Feyre getting the first one.
I'm gonna pull my bow.
Perhaps it is best we just make the dome and start from there.
Yeah, you think this is a good spot? Or do we look around?
Sure.
It takes 10 minutes. Well, no, screw that. I think it takes 1 minute if I cast.
What's the topography of the area, Dave? Are we in like is it like low watery area, or is it like high ground, or can I tell?
From what you can see, you have some limited visibility, although you can see in the dark. It is a thick canopy over the top of your head with just some small little openings. The underbrush is quite thick. And it is, you also notice as you look down nearby where you stepped out of this tree that it is razor sharp with thorns. And it seems like it would be difficult terrain for traveling, and especially difficult at night.
Yeah.
But it's not lowland. It's not like in a swamp. It's sort of like, it's a dry ground.
Just very forested. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's just camp here. Moving
can
around
I-
at night is going to be painful.
Can I do a survival check to see if this would be a protected place or if this would be like a place that lots of traffic goes through, or even people would walk by that, we would get halfway through our sleep and then all of a sudden there's cultists everywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead and roll a survival check.
Could I just help Feyre look around for
Absolutely.
trails and that sort of thing?
Yep. You see her starting to look around. You know what she's doing. You assist her. She rolls a natural 20. That's how things happen around here. Ba-doom-ba-doom-ba.
I got it. Oh, yeah, it is.
You get the sense, Feyre, that this there are no game trails here. You don't see any game trails. It's thick underbrush around you. You do have a small, flat area in front of this tree that you stepped out of. You turn and look at the tree, and it looks like any other tree in this space. But you don't see any foot trails, any routes coming through here. You hear crickets and birds and owls hooting, the natural sort of sounds of the jungle, but you don't get the sense that this is an active spot right where you are. Beyond 20, 30 feet, hard to tell.
Okay. Then I will sit down and begin casting my dome tiny hut.
Okay.
And I will just make it a smoky black gray kind of color.
All right, that sounds good. It takes 10 minutes.
No, I'm just gonna cast it.
Oh, you're gonna cast it. Okay, got it. Give me a Byron. Give me a D20 roll.
That is a natural 1.
What was that for?
Nice. You'll find out. You want to know?
Yep.
Weather conditions?
A thick fog rolls through your area as Farah finishes the creation of this magical dome. You all slip inside of it quickly, not knowing what might be out there in the darkness. Byron, you swear at some point you heard the flapping of wings and perhaps the shaking of a branch up above of something landing on it, but you're not sure. You can't see what it might be.
Now,
It is super dark.
Did anybody see what that thing was in the sky?
I
No,
didn't.
but remember, so the dome keeps us hidden, but it doesn't hide sound. So, don't talk
What?
very
Can you speak
loudly.
up?
I
I'm
lean
smack.
over and grab Byron. If we talk loud, they can hear us outside.
Oh, can they get in?
No.
Bring it on!
Damn it, Byron, shut
Well,
up.
if they have a magic user, they could get in. They just dispel my.
Why didn't you tell me that sooner? Oh my God, yo.
All right. No, we need to be serious here. There could be any number of creatures out there that could eat us.
For all we know, we could be in the middle of a cultic-run city that's had a year to set up. So maybe don't be a fucking idiot, Byron.
All I
Hey,
can
hey,
think
This
of what I
isn't-
said.
This isn't a game anymore. We
they
are
haven't had a
playing
year to
with
set
fire.
up. We've been missing for a year. They have no idea we're coming.
That won't matter if they know we're here and come upon us with, I don't know, an army of undead.
That would be pretty shocking,
The
considering
dome up
they.
yet?
Yes, it's up. We're all
Yeah.
inside.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, you guys are
whispering
inside
inside
the
of it. Yeah, but like, so hear me out. Like, if we got here and they knew we got here, and then we got into the Plasarian Grove, and then a year passed and nothing happened from us, they're gonna assume we died. They have no idea we're here. Not
They
to
do
mention
now
we.
because you just yelled at the top of your fucking lungs.
Yeah, but they don't. They didn't see me.
Go to bed. I'll take first watch.
Oh no, I'll take first watch, because I want to cast a spell before I go to sleep.
Okay.
All right.
I'll take
Um,
second. Captain, you take third.
Dave,
Yes.
Runar's just mulling over that shadow he saw pass over the moonlight when they first pulled in.
Mm-hmm.
Would he have any would he happen to have recognized it by any chance?
Do you have something that you think might allow him to recognize something of that nature that you're thinking of?
Like, he's
What do you got?
worried it's one of those giant rocks like we ran into in Cybrit.
Mm,
You know,
I forgot
the
about
giant
that.
bird.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
So did it give him an impression that it was like one of those?
Roll a nature check.
All right.
Just why not? The darkness makes it difficult, really
Natural one.
difficult. Yeah. You're pretty sure it was a rock.
For a total of 3.
Yep.
All right.
You're almost 100% convinced that it was a rock, but you also
Hmm.
know that you're not super sure.
It's one of those big
Farah, what spell were you thinking of casting?
I would like to do ascending at 4th level
Okay.
because I'm out of 3rd levels now.
4th level sending, does that give you any extra juice?
I don't think it does. There's nothing special that happens at a higher level.
I think you get 5 extra words.
Yeah.
It has been house ruled.
That's nice.
That's nice.
And I want to do more than just cast that, but
Was this the message?
no.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking. But I get really nervous about using all my spells up in a weird place.
I mean,
but I will. Yeah,
What's the problem? What could happen?
I'm gonna send Sales a message, and say, Sales, it's Farah. It's been a week since we left you on the Good Buddy. We're out of that time loop.
We hope.
Sorry.
Where are they?
Where are you?
You get a response a couple moments later, and it's that very same sort of salesy response, and she says, "We've had a bit of a problem with the ship. We haven't heard from you for weeks. We're all okay."
Wait, it's been weeks.
Well, alright, guys. She said that it's been weeks since I last sended her, which,
Weeks?
was only about an hour ago. And
This is why we don't truck with the Fae.
right, but she said they're okay. She didn't say where they were.
There's nothing we can do about that until we deal with this. One
Yeah.
problem at a time.
Well said.
Got a foldable boat, right?
I believe so, yes.
Oh,
Just in case we need
Ru-
to make
Ru-
our own
starts-
way off the island.
Renner starts wrestling with the folding boat.
No, not in here.
Not in here, not in here.
Is this did I don't know. See, it's like, once you take this part off,
Again-
like, does
again,
it
later-
fold back the
later.
same?
He inflates it just.
Am I folding it back the right way? It feels
No,
like it's not.
you're not.
totally flat again.
If you unfold it, it'll never fold back in.
It's like one of those really big maps.
Yep.
All right. Fine, I'll go to bed.
let's do this. As you go to sleep, Farah, you're taking the first watch. Go ahead and roll a d20 and a perception check for me. See if anything randomly encounters you. Oh, you're muted.
6.
Me? I'm muted?
Yeah, you were there for a second. And
I
an
don't think so.
18. Okay, so you don't see anything weird
23
happen.
perception.
23 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing weird happens during your watch. You listen to the rumbling of snores from your party as you keep an eye out through the dome, but you don't. Nothing attacks or emerges into your little clearing, and you are able to wake up Theo for the second watch.
I didn't see anything. It's your turn.
Delightful.
I'll go
Really,
over it.
really quick, just before you go to bed,
Yes?
I shouldn't stab Byron in his sleep, right?
No. Why
Okay, good,
stab
check.
Byron when something else will stab him later?
Because they've been so unsuccessful so far.
Byron's a good person. You know, he really means well.
I know, that's why I haven't stabbed him yet.
I believe in him. It'll be fine.
I do too. That's why I haven't stabbed him yet. I just needed to express my frustration in a positive way.
She just rolls over and goes to sleep.
Try to be healthy about my aggression. Theo's just kind of going to sit down in the middle of the dome, or off to one side probably because we're all in here. Manifest Kalistani, just kind of set that across his lap and go, so if we live through this, do you know how many of the knights are left in the Great Kingdom?
That is a good question, Theodoric. We won't know until we return there.
Well, as long as neither of us know what's going on there.
You do intend to survive this, do you not?
Yes, but at the moment I'm finding it helpful to think of things beyond the current problem to keep my mind occupied, as I don't have anything to go on for the current problem other than it's been a year, there's no telling what the Scarlet Brotherhood has been up to, and things are probably weird out there.
My friend, can I call you that? We've been together for a while now. You probably have more to worry about than this Brotherhood. Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I imagine the first layer of problem is going to be whatever the Brotherhood has been doing. There's probably a second layer of problem, which is whatever the Omens left behind between us and their elder evil. And the third layer is the elder evil itself, which there is a high probability is the elder elemental evil, a thing whose cult we have encountered occasionally, and it would seem probable that one of them is beneath this city. And that's assuming that's a single layer problem. Most likely that is a more complex multi-layer issue involving anything involving ultra dead gods are the things that there's a lot going on there.
Good to know that you're taking this seriously then. Just to be clear, you are not allowed to die yet. We have work to do.
I wasn't planning on it. Also, I feel like that may have been a bit of a threat, but I appreciate the vote of confidence anyway.
We'll get there, buddy.
Whew. Look around again, and just as he kind of looks around, making a perception check, hopefully to see if there's anything out there in the night, just going, and I certainly hope nothing else saw me talking to a sword here.
Yep, go ahead and roll me a perception check and a d20.
I'm going to use an advantage, because again, we have plenty, thanks to our wonderful viewers, and even our non-wonderful viewers.
Generous chat. Thank you so much, you guys.
I rolled a 2!
Ooh, yeah, you don't see much. You feel pretty safe and confident. You get a little bit of a bump in morale from your conversation with Kalistani, even though it's sort of a strange sideways morale.
He's a very sideways character. It's okay.
You got to take what you can get with a sentient sword.
Right, exactly. When you've made a pact with a sentient, being of some sort of immense power, as long as it's being nice and is helpful, that's all you can ask for.
That's right.
And with that, we'll wake up Captain Deg. Hey, Cap.
See anything?
Didn't see anything. Talked to my sword. It has full confidence in our ability to get through what's going on here. So just pat him on the shoulder. It's the second craziest thing I've said all night. Good luck.
Oh,
Kirk gets into his bedroll.
Sword. I'm just gonna sit down and start my watch. Runar's gonna risk a pipe, but just keeping the bowl covered, marine style, so as not to. Well, nobody can see in the thing anyway, but out of force of habit.
Sure.
And he'll start his watch.
Give me a perception and a d20.
Eight for the d20.
Okay. That's a good thing.
10 for perception.
At one point in the night, you feel as though the moon is occluded again by something that passes over the top of the canopy, but it's only momentary. But it sends a chill up your spine.
all I can think about is seeing that 300-pound knoll being hauled off like a rag doll from Cyberit, just never to be seen again.
Yeah, probably fed to some nestlings somewhere. Nothing else happens during your watch. It's dark. One thing that you do notice is that in the wee hours of the morning, when you would expect perhaps that the light would start to grow, even despite the thick canopy, it doesn't seem to appreciably change. The darkness lingers.
All right, I'll wake up Byron.
Oh, what's up?
It's your watch.
Oh crap. Okay.
Don't fall asleep. Are we taking another watch? It wasn't morning one yet, was it? All right.
All right. Get some sleep. Why is it so dark still?
It's the canopy.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna grab Byron by the scruff by his collar. Don't fall asleep. Stay awake. And then I'm gonna
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
see if it works.
Runar, roll an intimidation check. Oh,
20.
Shit.
Dirty 20.
Byron, how do you interpret that roll?
I took it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
You know he means
slapping
business.
myself in the face. I'm like, all right, it's time. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sit up. I'm going to take my cloak off. I'm going to fold it up, put it in my bag of holding. I'm going to, pull my collar out so Chuck can come crawling out. I'm going to look around. I'm going to draw my dagger. I'm going to look at my cloak in my bag, shake my head, keep my dagger clutched. And then every time I start to feel tired again, I'm just going to clutch the dagger tighter and stand up, and I'm going to start pacing inside the hut, walking around back and forth. And I'm going to wait. And I'm going to wait, and I'm going to look around, and it's super dark, so I don't see anything, but I'm going to listen.
All right, give me a perception check and a d20 roll.
So would my perception be a disadvantage since I don't have night vision, dark vision?
Sure. Absolutely it would.
So I got an 8 and a 10.
All right.
Perception.
Your perception was an 8. Okay. Yeah, you are not accustomed to necessarily staying up for your whole watch all the time, and you are still somewhat exhausted from the battle with Nagalbu, which just literally happened like earlier that day. Rough, give or take a couple of weeks, given the time dilution. But you do feel tired. Nevertheless, you maintain your consciousness. You're awake throughout your watch. The fear of Deg in you, but you don't detect anything strange. And as your watch ends, the one thing you do notice is that there's just a little bit of a change in the light of this place, but it's still relatively dark. It's not nighttime dark, and it's not, so there's one end would be like nighttime dark, and then on the other end it would be just like thick canopy blocking the sun dark. It's like somewhere in between. You get the sense that it's an unnatural darkness. It doesn't necessarily affect your ability to see distance-wise, but it is a darkness that is sort of lingering within the jungle.
Almost like
you
we're
are
in a
awake,
world of darkness.
almost like you're in a world of darkness. The rest of you wake up at this point, and your dome Feyre fades. You have all benefited from a long rest, so update your character sheets on that end of the spectrum.
How
And
much
now, my friends, what would you like to do with your day?
hit dice? How many do we get back with a long rest?
Half of
your
your
level.
hit dice. Yep, half your level.
Okay, so I get them all back. Right. We should probably figure out where we are.
Going to recommend not climbing the tree on account of all the things we kept thinking we saw coming in and out of it. Let's
Yeah, that's
perhaps
good.
make our way through the underbrush.
So dark, guys.
Yeah, just
Yes, it is. Would you like a hat to fix that?
Yeah. I'll take out my crystal necklace and I'll hand it to Theo.
Okay. Puts that away. Pulls out your helmet. Puts it gently on your head.
Spend some time thinking about it. And then opens his eyes and looks around and it's still dark. And realizes he needs to reattune to it.
Okay. Doesn't quite work for you since you're not attuned.
Right.
You're like,
Just keep it on.
is this
for a
thing
while.
on?
Yeah, I'll just keep thinking about it while we walk.
It'll start working after a little while. Just keep it on.
Mine's cooler than yours.
You wish.
So you begin to make your way through the underbrush, pushing past razor sharp thorns and vines, and which direction are you heading?
Well, do we know which direction is which?
Someone had a compass, didn't they? Who had the compass? Oh, there you go.
Theo pulls that compass. Whoop.
Roll a navigation check, whoever would like to use the compass.
Theo will roll his navigator's tools. Navigator's tools. He rolls a total of 25 with his navigator's tools.
You're like, north, that way. That's where the city is, based on your recollection of the map and your map reading skills and understanding of topography. You're like, we got to go that way.
All right.
Theo just said what Dave said.
Let's move quietly and carefully.
Would you consider that stealthily?
Mm-hmm. You know that's right. Theo will touch his armor and activate the property to make it not rattle and shimmy.
All right, let's get some stealth rolls, please.
And time to use an advantage, cause my stealth is terrible.
Okay, you're gonna use an advantage. As you guys are moving stealthily, are you doing anything else that might aid you in your advance? Besides being stealthy, I guess.
You know, I'm gonna be looking for edible foods that I remember from my learnings with the Namashal.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a nature check for me, or a perception check, you decide. Let's get some
Runar
stealth
is,
checks. What'd you get, Runar, for stealth? Let's do that real quick.
Oh, forgot to roll it. Hold on.
Okay.
With advantage, Theo got a total of 9.
Oh, shit. Okay. 9,
I rolled a natural 1.
which is a
For
total of
9.
9 as well.
I rolled a 7.
Wow, you guys, what the heck?
It's dark here.
We are
What a-
not a stealthy people.
What about Byron?
We're trying to break.
I got a
trail.
29.
A what? A 29.
29?
So you have
That lifts,
you're
that lifts
20,
us up a little bit.
20 points higher than the other 3. That's pretty good. As group stealth checks go, that's a failure. But Byron is very stealthy. Everybody's kind of like golf clap for Byron.
Where'd he go?
At least someone knows what the fuck they're doing.
Byron keeps disappearing.
Hey, lords and ladies of fate, thank you so much for the raid. We appreciate you
Oh,
being
hello.
here. We're playing a game in Greyhawk, Dungeons and Dragons 5e. I get to play with my beautiful friends here. We have some giveaways going on, ! Drawing to get in on that, all that stuff. Kirk will tell you all about it by dropping some links in the chat. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Now back to the story. Okay, so your stealth check is not great, guys. You are, Byron, looking for herbs and plants and that sort of thing. What did you roll for your nature check? And by the way, what are the rest of you? Are there any other things you want to be doing as you're moving through the jungle besides failing stealth checks?
I would like to keep an eye out for traps.
Okay.
Set like pits and other things that possibly are set up around the city to keep away people.
Okay. Let's get a perception check from Feyre.
How about a survival check? Because I'm looking for things
Sure.
that can harm us.
Yep. I'll give you that. That's a good idea. What'd you
Theo
get,
is,
Byron?
in fact,
Oh, go ahead.
Got a
Go ahead.
15 on my nature.
All right. 15 on
Theo-
nature. Go ahead, Theo.
Theo is in fact doing the keep an eye out, but he's very specifically looking around for like waiting for something to jump out of the trees, you know, the lumbering undead to shamble overhead. He's looking for apocalyptic awful or non-apocalyptic awful to happen. He is in fact trying to use perception.
Okay, let's get a perception roll from Theo. Okay, so let me go through this. Runar, we're going to come to you in a second. Byron, you're looking around for plants, and Feyre, you rolled what for your survival? An 18?
18 for traps and other dangerous
Okay,
man-made
and
things.
And Theo, you rolled an 8 for perception. Is that correct?
I got this many. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, Feyre, you're looking about. You're trying to be as safe as possible. You realize immediately that you are not being stealthy. Byron is being really stealthy, but he's not looking where he's going. And at the last minute, at the last second, you reach out and grab his shoulder as he's about to take the next step, and you point down and you distinctly see in front of him some sort of unnatural covering to the ground.
Holy moly. You just saved my life. I'm gonna get down on my hands and like on my stomach, actually lay down right at the edge of this. I'm gonna slowly start uncovering it a little bit by bit, you know, really expertly. Oh my gosh, this is one of my original designs. So it's two pieces of wood. You step in the middle, the wood comes down, and as the wood goes down in the middle, the outsides come up and they're spiked. So it grabs you down. This is I remember the first time I made one of these.
You pull away some of the debris on the ground that's covering this trap that you didn't see, by the way, that Feyre pointed out, and you can see that there is a 10-foot pit dug into the ground, at the bottom of which are these wooden stakes that have been sharpened to points. It looks old. It doesn't look like it was recently set. Feyre, you noticed that. It looks like it's been around for a while. There are cobwebs and spiders crawling around in there. No giant spiders or anything like that, mind you. But it looks a little bit old, but you do get the sense that, yeah, your hunch that there could be traps is a good one. And you get the sense that perhaps there are more that you need to be careful of. Runar, what are you doing during this time?
Preoccupied with the thought that there could be a giant rock flying around in the area. His eyes are going to be kind of like pretty much glued to the canopy.
Okay.
And he's just like looking all around, just trying to make sure they're not being preyed upon.
Give us a perception check. As you look up, you can see there's a bit of a shine from the sun, but it's almost as if the sun is behind some sort of a cloudy haze, and so it's the radiant energy from the sun does not seem to be capturing or making its way to the forest floor.
24.
That's a hell of a perception roll.
Much better than me.
Yep. You also stop abruptly as Feyre kind of puts her arm out in front of you and Byron to stop you from falling in this pit because you've got your eyes up.
Oh, damn it.
As she does that, you see something winged, dark, fly past, but it's not a rock. It looks different than a bird, but it
There's
looks
something
big.
There's something big in the canopy. How far away was it? Was it straight above us?
Yeah, it kind of passed over the top of you, like casting its shadow down on the forest floor. It wasn't like close enough where you'd be like, oh, I can see it. It's more of like you got the sense of it.
It's moving around up there. I think we should keep moving. Let's get out of here.
Let's get a second stealth check that we'll call this sort of like the next phase of your journey through this forest as you're making your way through the jungle, headed towards the lost city of Tomoa-chan, trying to find this place.
On this roll, I will use an advantage.
Okay, very smart.
Runar likes to fail stealth checks.
For folks in the chat, if you are interested in getting involved with the game, you can donate bits to our players and they get advantages that they can use in their roles to help them succeed and be heroic.
I used to think +5 stealth was pretty good, but it never seems to work out for me. I
got a 17 with my +2, so you can do it too, big guy.
That's
Believe
better.
in yourself.
So that was a 10 with advantage.
All right, so you got a 10, a 17, a 17, and what'd you get, Byron?
Another 29.
Pretty consistent over there. All right, so you make your way through the jungle. Farah, you point out now that Byron is also helping you to look, you both see multiple trap locations, similar traps, pits, that you are able to. Hey, thanks, Bleak. You guys all just got an additional advantage. Much appreciated, Bleak Season. You point out a couple of additional traps that you're able to avoid, right? And you continue through the underbrush. And without a whole lot of warning, about midday or maybe slightly after midday, perhaps you've taken a small break at some point to drink some water and eat some food. But without a whole lot of warning, you emerge from the dense jungle into what might have once served as some sort of a border area of a city, because you look down and you can see some crumbled flagstone tiles that have almost been completely reclaimed by the jungle itself. You look ahead, Runar, and you can see that there are 3 non-natural structures ahead of you, vertical in nature. You can make out one really well, and as you scan through the canopy, you can see the one in front of you very, very well. It is a crumbling stone obelisk that extends up into the canopy that you can't really see where it ends. You can see through, as you scan now with a search image, you can see one to the right and one to the left as well, just barely visible through the dense foliage of the understory.
Look there.
Is that a building?
I think it's an obelisk, like the map.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
like the
one
map set.
has the inscriptions that point east?
We need to go check it out. I'm gonna start making my way towards it. Was
Go
that
ahead,
the one
Michael.
in the middle
I'll cover him.
that you said?
Yeah, there's one in the middle that you see. You find yourself, Runar, as you're sort of pointing this out, you look and you're on a little bit of like a rise in the terrain. There is a small cliff in front of you, about 10 feet, that drops down into a very small valley. To the north and to the south, there are obelisks as you emerge into a bit of an opening in the canopy. Again, you get the sense from some of the cracked flagstone that perhaps this was part of the part of a settlement, or there's definitely some man-made elements here.
Yeah, the stone. These are old walls.
Be careful, and I'll give Deg bardic inspiration. Hopefully that'll help with some of these rolls.
So, Runar, you look across this opening, this small valley. Again, you're standing on this 15-foot ledge looking out, and you can see that approximately 100 feet out across this opening, there is a cracked stone pillar. And you can't quite see anything more from the distance. You look to the north, and there is a similar stone structure about 60 feet to the north and about 45 feet to the south as well. That's all you can see. And you can just see parts of these structures.
Yeah, I'm just going to start moving forward. I guess we'll start heading towards like the one that's the closest. So would that be the one to the south?
The one to the south, sure.
Yeah.
Is everybody going to follow Runar as he heads that way? Okay. You get about 20 feet. You scramble down this small embankment, the rock kind of crumbling as you make your way down its slope. You find yourself on sort of soft footing in this valley. Rock piles, almost unnatural rock piles, as if someone perhaps left them as a marker. A cairn, perhaps. You move closer. You get within about 20 feet of this stone pillar, and you look at it. And you get the sense that these perhaps... Well, actually, let's see. Do you get the sense? Roll a history check for me, Runar. Anybody else who wants to roll a sense check, go ahead.
I'll roll a history check. You know, I used to read a lot when I was at home. But I have never heard anything about this particular city.
19.
Okay.
Natural one.
Natural one for a total of
10.
That's not bad. That's pretty good. Anyone else want to roll a history check? No? Okay.
Let the schniz, I'll roll.
Yeah, roll it. We have dice, let's roll them.
I got a 7. It looks nice.
Clearly it was not in any elf ballads or history.
Yes,
no, they're really,
this
there's
is not
much. There's not much about this other than what the Namashal told you. Runar, you do, from some of the studies that you've made of battlements, and fortifications and structural elements of cities that allow for defensive capabilities, you get the sense that these are some sort of a marker. You get close enough where you can see that they extend 50 feet up and almost through the canopy itself, and you can see then, looking at them, that they are draped with thick green vines. Thanks, Vamp. Thick green vines and a black moss that kind of grows on the sides of this pillar. On the top of each of these obelisks, at least the one that you're looking at, you guess you don't know the other ones, but on the top of the obelisk that you're looking at, you see a strange sculpture of what looks to be a humanoid creature. But it doesn't, your history check, it doesn't really stand out as anything significant to your knowledge. You do note, however, that it is strangely bat-like in its appearance.
Anyone want to bet me 5 gold that those are or not living creatures?
Alright.
Do you think that thing is alive?
Let's make it interesting. 10 gold.
10 gold it is.
I'm going to review the map real quick, because I personally, as a player, I can't remember what it said. But it said something like, the Tomoa-chan ruins are located to the north of the...
It's hard to read.
Yeah.
To the north of the shrine, look for
Shrine.
the obelisk with the carvings that face east.
Carvings that face east. So, I'm going to check and see, do these carvings face east? I'm going to check in with Theo.
East is that way.
They
Alright,
do
which ones
indeed.
have carvings on that side?
This one, the one that you're in front of, the others are quite a distance away from you, Farah, but this one here does have carvings on it. It in fact faces in a roughly easterly direction.
Oh, convenient.
All right.
Something's going right for us?
I think these might be the obelisks. I think we just have to head north.
He was just keeping an eye on those figures on the top of the pillar.
Theo, roll a perception check as you're kind of as a sentry sort of approach to watching these things.
Full stink eye.
Yep. What are the rest of you doing?
Runer's just like walking
Oh,
around.
yeah,
the
big
obelisk,
8.
trying to take it all in, and I don't know, just looking all around the area for other landmarks and ruins, I guess.
Sure. So there are 2 additional structures that seem to be very similar to this one. The pillar itself has carvings all over it.
Do the carvings look familiar?
You're gonna get up close and take a look at it. Go
Yeah.
ahead and roll an investigation check. What are the rest of you doing while Runar is getting up and investigating these pillars?
4.
Theo is watching, keeping an eye. Feyre and Byron, is there anything that you want to do here?
No, I'm counting out my gold that Theo's going to be paying me here in a second. So I'm counting out my 10, but I know he's going to be giving me 10 more. And, I got my shield out, my dagger's kind of like propped under my elbow as I'm counting this gold, my hood's up.
I'm going to look around for any like bones or other things that would indicate that there is a large predator that is living nearby, such as something that would perch, or like this statue creature.
Okay.
Potential
Roll an investigation check as well. Runar, as you investigate this thing, describe to me how are you investigating it?
Well, I rolled a 2.
Yeah, but regardless of the
total of
roll.
4.
Yeah, regardless of the roll.
So he's trying to like just kind of go over the runes and trying to figure out if the carvings, and just trying to figure out if he recognizes any of it, like if he can make it out, the writing or just familiar symbols, I guess.
Okay. Your investigation check was shit, but you do get the sense that you've seen some of these markings before. Not all of them. Some of them look vaguely familiar to things that you've seen before. You can't quite place it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you think of a possible connection that you might think of? I know it's pretty vague, but I'll give you an opportunity to just kind of put a piece together.
I want to do I recognize any symbology from like, my crazy journaling, or the, I can't remember the cap. Solana's scribblings on his walls of his jail cell. Do they look kind of like the cursed dark writing that I've seen in the past associated with this elder elemental evil?
That was a great question.
Despite the horrible roll.
Despite the roll, because you put that piece together, it does. It looks similar to some of those strange scripts that you saw in Solana, the wall of Solana's cell.
Mm-hmm.
The things that sort of made you uncomfortable, that caused a bit of anxiety from just reading the script. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Hey.
Oh,
These
good.
are, however, not as crude as Solana.
16.
Nice. These are not as crude as the ones that Solana had drawn on his wall, and not all of them match, but some of them are much more intricate, detailed versions of what Solana had drawn on his walls, you do not feel any sort of strangeness, but you do get a sense of like uneasiness as you look upon them and put the pieces together.
It's the writing. It's the dark writing.
Oh, don't look too closely at it then.
Yeah.
Well, we're certainly on the right track then.
All right. We head north. Should we keep moving?
You should keep moving. Keep stink-eyeing that thing on the pillar. Can't see anything, but I'm staring at it anyway.
Yep. I mean, you have a sense, right? You've been in situations before, not necessarily unlike this, perhaps. You continue north?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to do in this particular area, or you just want to head out? Byron, are you counting your money, or are you paying up?
No, I'm paying up.
Yeah, I'm getting paid. You know, well, you know, as soon as he hands me the money, you know, I'm gonna kind of look around. I'm gonna look at the statues again for a second. You know, and you know, even though I kind of have a hunch that Theo was right, I'm gonna pretend he wasn't because I got paid. But I'm also gonna keep an eye out on those statues, try and, you know, watch for any movement, scan the horizon.
Give me a perception check, Byron.
A 10.
These pillars are definitely significant, but you can't tell if they pose a danger. You're not sure. You don't see anything that's jumping out at you other than some really creepy humanoid sculptures that sit atop them.
Nobody likes those.
No, nobody likes that at all. So you guys continue to head south.
Do they remind me
Excuse
at
me,
all
north.
of
North, yeah.
Yep. Do they remind me at all of like the Pinara ruins, or like that temple we saw with the flying demon and the gargoyles that had pillars on it too?
Nope.
No? Okay.
No, they don't. They look different. I mean, they're stone sculptures, so they do, in that sense, they kind of look similar to that. The Pinara ruins, which were on Cybert Isle, was more of a kind of like a pyramidal, like ziggurat sort of thing, not necessarily a pillar of cracked stone, and so it's a little bit different. But the markings, roll a history check. You're gonna go up and look at the markings. It sounds.
I'll
like.
burn one of my advantages on this one.
Okay.
A 10.
I mean, you have an eye for these things as a seeker of the arcane. Detail work, right? And you probably have some pretty significant journaling that you did based on the Pinara runes encounter. These look, without really being able to tell, this looks similar, but possibly older. But you can't really, it's hard to compare.
Right.
Yep. So you continue north, as you do. And again, just to set the sort of environment for you guys, it is dark. It is not like night dark, but there is a strange darkness that just hangs heavy over this part of the jungle. You continue moving. Let's get some stealth checks again. I'm assuming you're going to move stealthily. If not, that's
We're
cool,
certainly going to try.
Go ahead and give me an attempt. All right, a 17
I'm going to
from
use another
Byron.
advantage.
I'm going to use an advantage as well.
Which is
Okay.
good, because I just got a 7.
19.
Ooh, that was a good use of an advantage. Thank you to the chat for helping our
Natural
heroes out.
20
Wow. I'm
for a
gonna
total 25.
Yeah, that's awesome. Natural 20. Thanks to the chat for helping these guys out.
That
with
that
these.
advantage really paid off. Thanks, guys.
Yup. All right. Yeah. So you do a much better job now that you feel like you've entered like the perimeter, as Runar kind of maybe explains to you from his reading of these pillars that this is possibly like delineating the edge of the city. You continue to move forward, and you start to see more and more of these broken stones, maybe stone walls that have been partially taken over by moss and the jungle reclaiming what was once its own. Thank you, Techie Woman's Ghost, for an advantage for everybody.
Thank you.
Aww.
Just keep fueling me back up.
Oh, you guys are so generous. Thank you, Techie Woman, and others. You continue forward, and like I said, you're starting to see now signs of a city. The ruins become more prevalent. They're while they are not complete by any stretch of the imagination, think of these as like you're walking into a Mayan, a newly discovered Mayan village, just almost completely overtaken by the jungle. But you can make out as you walk through that there's a wall, there's some sort of a structure that was once here, there's stones that have been laid in a very deliberate manner, etc. So you're getting the sense that you're entering into something more significant. You head deeper into the ruins, treading across now cracked and overgrown flagstones, stepping over fallen and shattered pillars. It's becoming more prevalent, and you push aside vines and briars, and you step into the view of what you see now as just peeking out from beyond the foliage. You haven't fully entered into this opening, but you see what appears to be a stone ziggurat that rises 50 feet from the jungle floor, barely making it out. Probably whoever's in front, I would say Runar, with that natural 20, you're the first one to pick it out, and you see that there's a structure ahead that rises up into sort of like a stone pyramid.
There. Right there.
That is a start.
See it?
Yes. Do you see any people around? Wasn't this supposed to be an thriving Ulman village?
No, ruins.
I believed it had been dead even before
The Ulmans are long
the
gone,
map was made.
as far as I know.
That was my thought as well.
The tree told us, so, he's
Yeah,
been gone for a long time.
his perspective on time was a little screwy.
I did the math. He was asleep for 1,000,000 years.
Quick
Give or
cast
take
around.
100,000.
Possibility.
Quick cast around. Do I see any signs of creatures, people, footprints, trails, anything?
Give me a survival check. Or no, give me a perception check. Give me a perception check first.
Perception.
Yeah.
8.
You don't see any specific tracks of anything, but you do see that this area is has been disturbed recently. You don't know by what. There's a broken branch right in front of your face that you notice.
We should move, expecting there to be other people here.
I'll keep an eye out.
I'll just keep moving. I have been trying to keep an eye out as well, but I believe I'm shit at it.
Well, I've definitely sprung a few traps in my time. All right, let's go.
It wasn't a competition to see which one of us is shitty. I'm trying to make you look good here, Captain.
Failed a lot of stealth checks in my time. That's all I'm trying to say.
So everybody
Just trying to
follows Deg as he continues forward.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Feyre.
Let's head towards this temple.
Just trying to keep people from falling into pits.
Yeah.
It's good to have somebody like that in the group. No question about it. Give me, Feyre, a perception check as you continue to fulfill that role of hoping that your friends don't die horribly.
I'll do it with advantage.
Jeez, when you put it like that.
Woo! 23.
23.
Yeah.
Ayo.
It's not so much that you see or detect any traps, Feyre, as you move forward, but you detect the signs of recent activity. And as you continue to move forward, you're the first to see this, tattered remains of canvas tents, a littered work area with shovels and picks broken and laying strewn about this opening next to a tent. General campsite supplies that have been strewn across the ground and seem to be mixed in with crumbled stone and thorny vine and rich dirt. It's recent sign, recent work that you can tell has been done perhaps to clear away some of the jungle's attempt to conceal hidden features in the landscape.
Deg, do you see that?
Yeah.
We're not the first ones here. Someone else was here recently.
No sign of people though.
You guys
Is it
stop
like
and
an
kind of
empty
hunker
camp?
down and observe the area.
Mm-hmm.
Roll a perception check. Anyone who wants to peer out as Feyre warns you of this fresh sign.
12.
Ooh,
God,
I got a
you guys.
5.
Oh, sorry, I should.
Thanks, Feyre.
Mine is the first one. 22, not.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Holy cow, you guys! Everybody rolled shit except for Feyre, which is good. Feyre, you're kind of pointing things out, and the rest. You get the sense that the rest of the guys aren't noticing it. You're like, right there.
No, over. No, there.
Unless you get closer, it's really hard to see what's going on here. You are, I would say, probably 20 feet from emerging out of the dense understory and overstory of the canopy into what appears to be a bit of an opening in the canopy, and then beyond that another 30 to 60 feet is like this, it's hard to tell from where you are, is this 50-foot tall ziggurat that emerges from the jungle.
Let's move up. Let's move up to like the closest tent.
It kind of looks like something, damaged this tent.
Damaged?
Well, I mean,
Let's go carefully then.
Yeah.
You, one by one, follow... Who's in the lead here? Runar?
Yeah.
You follow Runar as you make your way up to the first tent that you see. When you get there, Runar, what do? The others are kind of behind you. You're crouched down, looking out. You can now see just about 60 feet ahead of you, maybe less, that there are some stairs that go up. The ziggurat now looking much bigger than when you first saw it. It rises above you. You're kind of on the edge of the clearing, and there's a tent there. You've come up on the side of the tent, feeling like you've got good cover.
I'm gonna just like carefully go up to it and kind of just like pull the flap aside so I can kind of look inside. Or unless there's like a back window or something like that, but I want to peer inside the tent, see if anything's in there.
All right, roll an investigation check for me.
Ah, 5. Just fumbling
Your
around.
investigation as you pull back the torn and tattered canvas of the tent that is stained and dirty and looks like it's been there for some time. You pull it back and you look inside and you can see the only thing that you see, because of that roll is such shit, but you do see something that grabs your attention. It is a corpse. It appears to be clothed in faded, almost moth-eaten red robes. It is missing its head. You can also see that there is what appears to be a wooden stake driven through its chest.
Well, this one's dead.
One thing I can't stand about Tomoa-chan is all the damn vampires.
I'm gonna start looking around really.
Don't think they
You
take
don't-
kindly to strangers around here.
Vampires.
That was mostly a joke, but stakes through the chest are a very traditional way for dealing with vampires. Although traditionally, I think when you stab a vampire, the body goes poof. So
But
they
look-
may have been very zealous.
Look at the robes. Was this a brotherhood?
They had a year on us. It looks like they had a bad time while they were here.
They might have had to start killing their own.
Or they were driven to by whatever they found beneath Tomoa-chan.
They start turning into vampires. They start hunting each other.
Or maybe they just thought that some of them had turned into vampires. Again, the fact that they're still a corpse means he probably wasn't a vampire.
I mean, they staked him and they cut off his head.
They may have lost their fucking mind because something drove them to madness. Not that we've encountered anything like that.
Yeah, it's never happened.
Can I roll the tent and my corpse just to see if there's any clues, valuables left behind, something that would help us?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Nope. There is a corpse in there and I'm not going in.
That's, you know what? Roll
It's
me a
super
D1.
gross.
Roll a D100, Farah, as a follow up.
I just like start to go in the tent, go, nope,
Poking
Nope.
at it.
I'm good.
You are absolutely taken by this strange looking, silvery, and 100% dead scarab beetle that lays on a nightstand next to the corpse. It's beautiful.
Is that natural? What is that? I
That's,
start walking towards it.
Suspicious. I'm gonna start looking around. Do I see anything? The other tents. Are there more nearby?
Yes, so you don't see anything else of interest in this first tent, but there are multiple tents. There appears to be a central tent that looks as bigger than the others, perhaps a meeting place or maybe where the foreman would hang out and discuss the work before the beginning of the day. There are multiple tents, singular tents around the opening. It looks as though they've cut trees down. There are stumps that have been cut. They look like they're old. It's old activity. Again, it's been some time, you get the sense, since someone was here. But yes, there's a larger tent that if you moved closer to the ziggurat, you could investigate.
Hey, Byron,
I'm wondering if this was our competition.
you're my buddy. Let's go check out the big tent.
Okay. How do you want to do it? Do you want to light it on fire? Do you want to cut through it? Do you want to?
I was going to look in it first, and if we see something terribly awful, then we can consider lighting it on fire. Look
Nice.
first, then
Okay.
fire.
Low
Deal.
profile, no fires.
Is
Okay.
that
Yes, sir.
beetle? Is that like a regular forest beetle? Or is it metal? Or is it can I figure out any more about it?
Do you have training or proficiency in nature?
No.
It'd be
You
tough for
probably
you to
talked to-
know.
Okay.
You could ask one of your companions that might be trained in nature. I don't know if anybody else is.
Theo is.
Does
Theo,
that beetle look natural? It's really
Yes.
odd for there just to be this big silver beetle in here.
Theo stops. Backtracks. Looks inside. Hold that thought, Byron. Sorry, I'm staring at Dave for a moment. I'm just letting Dave express himself.
What are you gonna do?
Dave's hiding.
What are you gonna do with the beetle?
I'm gonna look at the beetle to see if it's natural looking or if it's like a, jewelry. I'm looking at it. I'm not touching it.
Theo, do
Roll
the eye
a
thing.
roll a looking at it check.
You mean a nature?
Sure. Nature
I will
check.
also, before I do that, because Runar's the smart one here, I will cast Detect Magic.
Do your thing.
Do the thing with your eyes. Get the blue stuff.
Boom.
Roll. Give me a nature check if you don't mind.
Or I forgot what color.
Ooh,
They're blue,
19.
right? They go blue.
They're blue.
Yeah.
Blue eyes. He's a
Your
blue
eyes
boy.
go blue. You scan the room. There's nothing magical in the room whatsoever. You rolled a 19 nature. You look at this thing without touching it, and you get the sense that it's probably just a really beautiful dead beetle from the jungle. It doesn't look unnatural.
On principle, Mage Hand, bop. Mage Hand goes over, and Mage Hand gingerly lifts up the dead beetle.
Roll a wisdom save at disadvantage.
There. Oh, at disadvantage, even though
No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
I get advantage because of Mage Hand. Damn it!
You're fine. You pick up the beetle.
It looks
Looks like
it
a
looks
beetle.
like it was an actual beetle, but you know what? I'm not going to do anywhere in anything involving any of this. Take anything for granted and just Mage Hand put that shit back in place. Anyway, me and Byron were gonna go check out the big tent. Y'all want to come?
Let's do
Alright.
it.
It's creepy here anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
As
That
you-
is.
It is.
As you make your way across the opening, you feel extremely exposed. The canopy opens up, and so you can see above, and you see sort of these slow-moving clouds that pass by in the wind at the sort of the upper reaches of the atmosphere above you. The sun shining, but not illuminating as much as you would hope. You get a very uneasy sense as you make your way across this opening. I knew you were going to do that eventually. There are bodies strewn across the land in front of the ziggurat. There are multiple bodies that have been decapitated and staked, similar to the one that you saw previous in the tent. There are bodies that have been burned. Many of them have on faded and charred red robes.
I wonder who did this.
Who cares? They burned the right guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or they were doing it to each other.
Right.
Well.
If it were a madness thing, maybe they did it to each other.
They thinned their own numbers then.
Again,
True.
not sad that these are the dead guys. Concerned about what caused it.
Let's not spend a lot of time under this hole in the canopy. It's making me very nervous. We don't have any cover if
Yeah,
something
we
comes
are
from
very
above.
exposed out here.
Yes, that's why I moved tent.
Well,
Let's move along.
Everybody roll a stealth check.
Big tent.
Runar, roll me a I'm afraid of big birds check.
I
Would
got
that be
a
a D20?
9. I was almost to double digits. I was so close to double digits.
I'm gonna roll with advantage too. Why not?
I got a 15 on my stealth.
All right.
Did you want some other roll?
Yeah, roll a perception check.
All right.
So 24 from Feyre, 29 from Byron, 15 and a 9.
25 perception.
Yeah.
Runar,
19.
you see, as you look about, you're following your Theo and Byron as they continue forward. You're picking up the rear of the group. You look around, and you can see that there is on the side of the ziggurat there is some scaffolding, some wooden scaffolding that has been built. And you notice that, and then you realize that you saw that before, and you look back, and you can see off to the south that there is a similar platform, a crumbling stone platform that has scaffolding on it as well. You find your way to this larger tent. What do you do when you get there, Theo, as you're leading the way to the tent?
I stop, look at Byron, and go, Byron, see if there's anything in there.
Okay. I will walk up to the tent and I will just grab the flap and ever so slightly pull it out of the way and peek in.
Okay. Roll an investigation check for me, Byron. Runar, you see a shadow pass by above as you're watching Byron pull back it catches your attention. You look up and it's gone.
Earned an advantage for
I'm
13.
gonna pull my bow. Something flew over.
Anybody with a passive perception over 13?
That's me.
I think that's me actually.
All of us.
Yeah,
All of you?
despite my shitty rolling, I have a passive perception of 14.
15.
16.
Byron, you're very focused on the tent, but the rest of you hear just a slight, strangely unnatural breeze to the south. You turn your heads, you see nothing, but you definitely heard something. And Runar points out that he feels like he saw something overhead. Byron, as you look inside this tent, what did you roll for your investigation check?
I got a 13.
A 13. You see tables, a table broken, chairs overturned. You see a decapitated and staked body in a cot. You see a smaller table with a pile of what appear to be papers, parchments. You'd have to go inside. You'd have to go inside the tent to sort of figure out what that is. But you do see that there's a pile of notes.
Yeah, I'm gonna move in and move towards those notes.
He's going in. Theo's going in behind him.
Theo and Byron disappear into the tent. Runar and Feyre, you're standing outside, having heard this whoosh of wind to the south.
Do we go in?
You can if you want. I'm gonna stand watch. I'm just gonna keep my eyes to the south, just scanning, looking for whatever it was that I saw.
I'm gonna draw my bow, but then I'm gonna kind of like use the side of the tent as cover to hide.
Okay. So you both have your bows ready,
Yeah.
covering things as Byron and Theo disappear from view into the cover of the tent. Byron, you move forward stealthily and you reach this small table that has a pile of notes on it. Roll an investigation check for me with advantage.
An 11.
You see from these notes as you sort through them, it's very difficult to discern. But you do have some training as a seeker of the arcane. They seem to be plans. They seem to be instructions, perhaps, drawn up to guide excavation operations at this ziggurat. You see something that catches your eye. You rolled an 11.
Yep.
There is a reference in the notes to a device. A survey device. A device that could be used to unlock as this writing goes. You're reading this writing in common. The entrance to the lost city. But that's all you get.
Dang. It says here. Theo, come look at this.
Theo has manifested Calistani, boom, and has it in kind of the reverse script as if he's expecting to lob Eldritch Blast at something shortly. Just kind of gives a quick look around and scuttles over.
I'll point out the part about the hidden entrance. And
I thought this was supposed to be the fucking city. Shit, it's beneath us.
yeah. We gotta get wild, man.
There's a device.
Theo, roll an investigation check.
Oakley Dokley.
Just a straight roll.
I'm gonna use advantage myself because
All right.
Lord knows with the dice we've been getting tonight, we're gonna need it.
Good point.
There's a 1 and a 16 for a total of 19.
Ayo.
Woo! Hey, chat, we love you. Well, I love you. I can't speak for the rest of these people.
I think it's a general
speak for me.
love. Yeah, we love you guys.
Mhm.
You continue. I don't know why you do this, chat, but you continue to enrich our heroes' experience as they fumble through this crazy world and do great things for people and entities. Right now, however, you are investigating a pile of papers, Theo. And that's a great roll. A 19 on your investigation check. You see a diagram of what appears to be some sort of a stone platform. You see a diagram of some sort of triangular schematic, perhaps indicating the placement of something atop. Now, there is a device that what's your background, Theo?
Sailor is the technical background.
A sailor,
but are you looking
okay.
for more narrative?
No. Well, no. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, was your sailor background. It almost looks like some sort of like a sextant or a navigational device placed atop a pillar.
This part looks at least reasonably familiar. It's almost like a set of navigation tools being used.
What's going on over there?
We found some papers. Does the paperwork say where the secret entrance is? I asked to Byron.
You know, it. Not precisely. There's a lot happening here.
Let's take all the.
Yeah, I say we. Yeah, I think so too. Let's take all the papers. And I'll point at the staked down body.
You're noticing all the staked bodies in
Yeah.
the tents are laying down like they were killed in their sleep.
Yeah.
Or were sick like there was a plague.
Yeah.
Did anyone else notice this fog that kind of rolled in after I set up the tent?
I mean,
Remind you of the fog that we encountered that kind of messed with our minds?
you know, goodness, Feyre, how many fogs have we dealt with now?
I don't know.
A lot of them.
Oh my, there's
See
the
one
one.
on natural fog, and you think
There's
tend
the
to all
guy.
kind
There's
of-
the werewolf one. Oh my goodness, there's so many fogs.
Runar, did you take a look at the documents before they grabbed them up?
Yeah, I would say I probably took a look at them.
Give me an investigation roll as well. Byron, as Theo mentions this navigational device that he recognizes,
Dirty 20.
you look over at Runar for his input on it.
Trallian's device.
I mean, I was gonna bring that up, but
The tripod.
I mean, is it a sextant?
Oh, right. It was a map of some kind of device
Yeah.
to find
Yep.
something.
Yeah, we put the ixocoidal amulet in it, and it. Should we do it here?
Let's go to that the smaller monument with the stonework with the
The
Sextant
eastern
on it, yeah.
facing thingy.
Yeah, Runar, you immediately recognize the diagram. It's that sort of like pedestal that you saw with the scaffolding.
Yeah. We should try it over there.
Well, we should go over there
Okay.
carefully and be ready for whatever the hell is out here following us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something flying around here. I mean, it's getting curious.
If we're really lucky, it's just some more of those sturges. If we're unlucky, it's like a dire sturge. That would be terrifying.
Well, so here's an idea. We could go to where we're going to do this, take up defensive positions while Feyre ritually puts down the bubble. And then one of us can the three of us stand inside the bubble. One of us pops out, does all the stuff, pops back into the bubble.
First, we
I
need to
could
see
do
where
that.
we're going. Let's get there, but that's a good idea
It
once we
would
get
be a
there.
safe space to try to figure this out.
Yeah, let's
We
do
are
it.
always a
Bring-
safe
bring
space
those
here,
papers.
despite all the dangerous things we do.
Bring all the papers.
This is a safe
Okay.
space, folks.
Oh yes, all those papers.
Okay.
Papers. Papers.
I have
papers.
some old papers from Drowning's estate too.
And I've got
I have
some papers from Abinel's guard room. That's not as useful.
All right, let's stop comparing papers. Let's go.
Feyre, it's important for boys to compare their papers, okay? It's a bonding ritual. No, I'm kidding. Let's fucking go.
Look at these practice drawings of people I found in a cave.
Byron, just
A
stay
couple of
focused.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
go.
okay,
Come on.
sorry. Yeah, let's do it.
So where do we need to put this?
Runar, you point
Oh.
across about 30 feet away, and there you can see the pedestal. As Runar points, there is a pillar that has a flat top on it that has wooden scaffolding that looks as though it was constructed around it to maybe access it or to, to investigate it better archaeologically, perhaps to unearth parts of it that had
Over
been covered.
Yeah,
You
over
recover
there.
artifacts
to
to
the
take
pillar.
back to a museum. Yeah. We go.
You
Let's
go.
go.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Everybody roll a stealth check as you sneak across this place. Now feeling this almost sense, not dread in the Dave's throwing dread at us sense, but dread as in like anything could happen. Something's gonna happen.
Judge Dredd.
What's gonna happen?
Hey,
Kinda
I got
thing.
to double digits. I got a 10.
Hey,
That's a start.
Runar failed his stealth check again, I'm sure.
God damn.
Got a
24.
16.
Maybe you guys pulled me out. I don't know. I got an 8.
You know, while these guys are failing their stealth checks, we can all win by entering to win the giveaways from CZRPG and Old Goat Beard Company, our awesome sponsors. Please type !drawing. Kirk will show you how it's done, and you could be entered to win. All right, so you make your way across to this pillar, and you get to the scaffolding. The scaffolding has a little rope ladder up the side of it. It's about to get to the top of the scaffolding. It's about 15 feet up.
Let's go. Move up.
I am not stealthy. I will stay here and provide covering fire.
I'm gonna
Theo
start
will stay at the bottom.
stumbling up that
sword at the
ladder.
ready.
I will use my acrobatics to spider monkey up the side of that thing.
Does anybody have a passive perception that is a 14 or above?
Yes.
I have a 14.
All of you
All of
again?
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you are very focused
16.
on this pillar in the scaffolding, you get this sort of sense as a shadow is cast upon the ground. You look up, you don't see anything, but something flew overhead.
There it is again.
I saw.
It's stalking us now, I'm sure of it.
It is.
A
Who's
minute
going
to
up?
cast tiny hut.
So Feyre's going
Feyre.
to cast Tiny Hut. Is that the plan?
Well,
I'll go up with
I need to-
Feyre.
place to cast it. So sure, at the
At the top of the pillar or down below?
So just to spell it out, the pillar is probably about 5 feet square.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's not.
that
gonna
would
Yeah, it's
be a
not
good
big. It's
spot.
not big. It's a very narrow, sort of cylindrical pillar
At
with
the
a
base,
flat
then.
spot on top.
Yeah. Why don't you set it up at the base? I'll climb up there. Do what we got to do and climb back down quick.
All right.
Just
Well,
cover my back.
It takes 10 minutes to ritually cast, but I can cast it
Well,
instantly in a minute.
I would hold off. I would ritually cast it. We'll protect you.
Yeah.
Got
I'm
10
okay.
minutes.
I'm gonna cover Feyre. You guys move up.
I'm gonna start ritually casting the bubble at the bottom of the pillar.
And it takes
I
1
would-
minute.
No, it takes 10 minutes.
Oh, ritual.
To ritually
Got it.
cast.
Okay,
Um,
you are ritually
if you-
casting.
if you want me to cast it regular, yeah, you know what? I will regular cast it. It takes a minute, so that's like six rounds.
Quicker, but we're not in,
No, we're not in
initiative, so
combat or anything.
It might
You will
go
be.
by pretty quick. As Feyre is casting, I'm just gonna stand next to her with my bow drawn, just like ready.
Yep. Yeah, I've
Ready
had my
for something.
dagger, shield, and hood up this whole time.
All right, and then just to clarify, who's climbing up?
I will climb up.
All right, so Byron, roll an athletics check. Runar, roll a perception check. Everybody in the chat, please enter !drawing to win the giveaway.
I'm burning another advantage.
Theo, what are you doing?
Theo is at the bottom of the scaffolding, also doing an Overwatch kind of perception, waiting for something to appear to be blasted.
Okay.
15 perception for Runar.
Very good. Runar, you see something move in the distance and duck behind cover. You're not sure what it is.
I got a 20 on perception.
On the ground.
It's
Theo,
coming.
you see a humanoid creature on the opposite side of the clearing run and disappear behind some cover in the forest. You're not sure what it was, but it was humanoid.
I got a 16 athletics.
Could you give me a vague idea in feet of how far away that is? Like hundreds of feet?
No, it's less than hundreds. I would say it is approximately, give me a moment to look at a map here. I would say it's probably 25 feet from where you are, where you saw the movement. And you saw a humanoid creature, almost like Bigfoot, disappear behind something.
You know what the upside of
devil.
Eldritch Blast is? It has a range of 120 fucking feet. Theo, just on base principle, just unloads a pair of blasts of Eldritch Might in that direction, towards the base of a tree.
Okay. You're gonna be rolling. Go ahead and roll. Yeah. Roll a
I
couple
don't
of
assume
blasts.
he's going to hit anything. He's just letting everyone know that we know we're all here.
Right. Which may or may not be a good idea. I don't know. Who knows?
It's an 11. He didn't hit shit.
Yeah, everybody like is startled by this as your friend Theo just fires off these eldritch blasts. You're like, it's almost like a stress response from Theo. Just what do you say, Theo, when you do that?
Up on the tree line.
I see something too. Byron, keep moving.
Byron, you climb up to the top. Farah, you are working your magic. Byron, what do you do when you get to the top of this short 15-foot high pillar?
You know, I'm gonna start setting up that Drowling's device, throw down the exocoidal amulet into it, you know, get it all put together in the right way.
Okay.
Look down. Is this right, guys?
I don't know. Just,
Did I try other things?
can you see anything from up there?
I'll look around real quick.
Roll a perception check from atop the short pillar. You don't see anything, but you do see. You see at the base of this pillar, as you look down at your feet, you can see that there are strange etchings in the ground. Roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
I'm gonna burn another advantage. That's a 9.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay. Byron, you look down at these markings and they are immediately relevant to you. They harken back to some of the strange writings and symbology that you found yourself enthralled by in Nerisban, but much more distinct. Almost as if they are themselves etching into your brain, into your psyche. You are overcome with a sense of dread as you look at this place and realize what you have stumbled upon. This is something horrible. This is something dangerous. But you also get a sense that this is something you know. And you look down and there are 3 distinct, almost cylindrical, like chiseled out holes, finely crafted in the rock. Around them are these spiraling symbologies that you're familiar with from Nerisban, Captain Solana's cell, some of the visions that you had. You know what this is.
Oh no. Oh no,
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
I'm gonna just look down at my friends, then look back at the symbols. I'm gonna feel the dread welling up. I'm gonna start sweating, put my dagger away, slide down the pillar. Guys, I know what this is.
We have to be the ones.
Yeah, what is it?
This is I think this is, how do I explain this? There are great evils in the world. This is definitely a way to one of them. Pretty sure.
Thought we already knew that.
We knew that.
We are the ones that can get in, and it's better that it's us than anyone else. We need to find a way in.
I'm gonna point out the 3 cylindrical points.
Use Dralian's tripod
On that spot.
in that spot.
I will pop
Hook it up.
I'll climb back up, grab the device, slide back down, plop it right there. I'll put the medallion back into it.
You unfold this device that you had stolen from Dralian's estate, from his observatory long ago. I don't remember how long that was, but it was a long time ago in real
Forever
life.
ago.
Yeah.
From the very
You had infiltrated the Dralian estate. You had taken some important things, including the Dralian Journal. You had taken some books, such as How to Speak Infernal in 10 Days, which proved unsuccessful. I don't know if that proved successful or not. I can't remember.
I never learned.
No, you stole this
phrases.
strange
the swear words.
tripod-like device, which had this missing piece, which you recovered as another heist that you pulled at the governor's mansion in Nerisban to recover the Ixocoatl medallion. You set this tripod up. It fits perfectly into these 3, I guess you could call them toe holds for each of the 3 pieces of the tripod. And you take out the Ixocoatl medallion and you gently slide it into place. Roll a dexterity save for me, Byron.
Don't fuck it up.
18.
You are blasted by this energy and you almost fall off this pedestal and you grab on to some rocks and pull yourself back up as this blue beam of light, arcane energy erupts from the device, this theodolite, shooting across the jungle past this ziggurat that's in front of you, through the trees, and highlights a second ziggurat in the distance that you now see that is larger and peeks up over the vegetation. It is a radiant beam of blue light. At the same time, my friends, you hear the growling and snarling and the emergence of creatures from all directions.
The fools were in the wrong place. Huh?
You look about and you see bipedal creatures emerging from this vegetation around you, all around this opening that you are in. You are all huddled around this central pillar, the tripod device and the Ixocoatl medallion shining this blue arcane energy, highlighting perhaps the place where the entrance to the city is. But you look about and you get a sense of dread as you realize that you are surrounded by creatures that seek to close in on you. And we're going to leave it at that as a cliffhanger for next time.
We call them buddies.
Your undead good buddies. They're kind of okay buddies, really, if you think about it. But you have identified, I mean, here's the good news, guys. You have identified the location of the entrance to the ruins.
Yeah.
The unfortunate piece is that there's some other guys that are there to stop you from doing so. And we'll have to figure out what happens next time, folks, when we jump back into Beyond Saltmarsh next Wednesday for our second to last. Is that right, Ashley? Can we get a count? Is that our
Yeah,
second?
we only got 2 more. So, yeah, we've got 2 sessions left.
We've got 2 sessions left in this particular story arc. Michael's going to be leaving us for a bit and going to get some real work done and help people in their lives. And we're super proud of you, dude, by the way. Super proud. And we are going to start a new adventure in a couple of weeks here with some new characters. It's going to follow the same campaign timeline because everything is going to sort of intersect with each other is sort of the idea.
Now moved a year along because we spent a night in a Fey Grove.
You did lose a little bit of time, but that's okay. It allowed for the your nemesis to show up and get their asses kicked.
And that's really all we care about.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice touch. Nevertheless, we will find out what happens next week as we dive back into Beyond Saltmarsh. Thank you all for being here. Thanks to the chat for being here. We do have some giveaways that we're going to do in just a couple of minutes. A couple of quick shout outs. We do have a Monday night finale of our game Mutant Year Zero Gen Lab Alpha, where we play a bunch of hardcore psychotropic tripping animals. Actually, it's just my character has been doing a lot of LSD.
But it's been super shirt, fun, which I really think just kind of drives it home.
Yeah, it really does. It really ties the room together.
Yeah, man.
But check us out on Wednesday for that. I'm hoping that we can get another raft game going and do some more fundraising for some of the fundraisers that we've been working on. So stay tuned for more programming. We've got, again, a new story arc that's happening for our Greyhawk game, and then we've got some other stuff in the works. So if folks want to get in touch and get connected with the guild, we encourage you to hop on into our Discord and introduce yourself and play with us. That's there's a link in there for the chat, and it's a good, safe space for you to get involved. All right, here we go. We are going to give away some stuff here. The people that we draw are going to get a chance to choose whether they want the beard oil or they want the there it is, beard oil from Old Goat Beard Company, or the Aquacedent. Is that what I said before? I can't remember how to pronounce it. Aquacadent. Aquacadent. We're going to go with Aquacadent. Aquacadent. There it is. You tell me how it's pronounced. We're just going to draw a winner. Yeah, the winner. Exactly. Thank you, Michael. The winner can choose. Let's see. Exclamation mark trying to get in. We've got a bunch of people in there. So, Ashley, if you wouldn't mind, my dear, to give us the countdown.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right, let's see who our first winner is tonight. Silver Red Fox Gaming. Hey, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. You are a regular, and we appreciate you jumping in here with the Fox Den. And we will go ahead and draw a second winner. Silver Red Fox, by the way, you get to decide if you would like the beard oil or the adventure. It's up to you. And we will go ahead and draw our second winner of the night. 3, 2, 1, go! Jerboa Tamer 77.
Heyo.
Congratulations.
Somebody's got to tame those Jerboas.
Exactly. Exactamundo. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and do some raiding. Who is... I haven't even had a chance to look. I've been so enthralled by this. Stick around here. We're going to go ahead and raid somebody. Ooh, let's see. Phoenix.
Yeah, he's
Gotta
online
raid
and he's got a
Phoenix.
really good loot table. And I
Yeah.
could really use a couple of the tank drops from him.
You guys, thank you so much for being here. We're going to go ahead and raid our friend Phoenix. John is a great DM, plays some really fun games, and raises a lot of money for charities. So please stick around. Go say hi to them. We love you all. We will see you on Monday. Thank you for hanging out and being with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.